Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be the 1 o'clock training on candlestick chart patterns and candlesticks. We're going to be teaching from the Candlestick Trading Bible. You can pick this up on YouTube, or if you'd like to, I could send you a copy through Telegram. That's the only way I can be able to send it to you free. I know that you can download it free on certain sites through the internet, but I'm going to be reciting from my copy that I've gotten, so you can follow right along. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Counter starting. I put my post out on Facebook, and we'll see what happens. See if we get some. We're on. Oops. We're on. All right. So I put that out there on Facebook to see if anybody is going to actually join me. I got one view. I got one person that's currently on with me right now, and we are going to be studying from the Candlestick Bible, Trading Bible. So we're going to start when the timer stops, and then people that can come in and join, or they can look at the repeat. So I keep looking over here because I'm used to looking over there. I'm not used to looking over here. So we'll be beginning in 10 more seconds. Okay. Once again, thank you for joining me. My name is Michael Hayes of the Living Legacy Group. And today's lesson is lesson, either way, we're going to be going through the Candlestick Bible. So right now, we're entering a new year I'm going to take this hat off here. We're entering the new trading year come January, Monday. So if you've never heard about trading, or if you had a fear about it or anything like that, feel free to email me, DM, whatever you got to do. Get a hold of me on Facebook or YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to help you understand the learning curve, because it was a learning curve for me for a long time. This will be my 5th year of really sticking with it. That's why my motto here at the Living Legacy is finding something and sticking with it. There's a lot of things that I had did in the past that they kind of failed, but I never gave up that spirit, that entrepreneurial spirit of network marketing. So the Living Legacy Group is a network marketing company, and I teach and train people how to network market their own products or products we do carry here. The products that we carry here are the Pocket Options platform. I am an affiliate, and there it is commission based. So we teach other people to get involved, to learn this skill, and build themselves a team that you'll be able to consistently earn profits from the profits they'll be earning from trading the on the trading platform. The other product that we carry or we do advertise or promote is called I Trust Capital. When I was working in a company, there was a 401k, and there was in the 401k, I had no control over what they bought as in stocks in the 401k, because if you look into a 401k, I do believe that I'm not, don't quote me, but I do believe that it has something to do with mutual funds. And I remember looking at mine, and it was terrible. That was when I was working. But then I'm trying to say the 401k, it was taken out of my check each and every week. So right now I can offer you a crypto IRA. Okay. So the money that you'll be making from trading, you'll be putting that into a crypto IRA, and you'll be growing that. So if you are 19 or 21, learn this skill now and start to build your crypto IRA. And while you build profit in these coins, you can take some of the profits out, and they're called disbursements. So you can take some of these disbursements out, at a certain age, but you can then store them in what we call the Engrave Cold Wallet. And I don't have my Engrave out with me right now, but this is how you'll be keeping your cryptocurrencies in your own possession. They won't be on the internet in an exchange, except for the pocket options. You'll have, we keep about $50 in there, and then we grow from that $50. Everything that we'll be doing, that you'll be funding your cryptocurrency, is going to be done through Coinbase. And Coinbase, I'm also an affiliate with Coinbase. So each one of these products that I present to you, there is a possibility of me earning a commission. That's how the Living Legacy is able to fund all of this that you see. There's a lot that goes on behind the screens. I've been waiting to launch this for almost 3 years now that I have been here in the Romulus area. So all the information that you're gathering from me, I don't charge from it, but I do ask you to like and subscribe to all the content that I put out, because that builds a stable algorithm for, or a stable traffic for me to be able to do this without you getting involved. If you don't want to get involved, at least you can do is press and hit that like button, get the notification. You don't have to sit through the course. Do me a favor, do me a solid. Just press that. All you gotta do is press the button. Press like and subscribe. That's all I ask. So getting off my soapbox, we're going to get right into the Candlestick Bible. So in the introduction, we're going to look at all of this: the introduction, the overview, the history of the channel of the candles, what a candlestick is, the patterns. Now, again, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but I figure if we can get through at least an hour of it, then we'll go back to the charts and go back to the live news on the market, see where the where our positions have either tanked or went up. I don't know, but we're gonna go through this together. And maybe, I don't know, if I get some comments or anything, maybe somebody will let me know. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do this every day at 1 p.m. So I can get on. We want to build a habit. We want to build something that, you know, we've got the new year coming along. You've got New Year's resolutions. I know friends that we all joined hands and got into this trading thing, but it seems like I'm the only one standing. But I'm going to invite them back into the group so that way we can really get the right atmosphere going and really make some money and have some fun at this thing. I want to have what you call Friday night trading parties where we sit around and maybe have a couple drinks and talk and have tournaments and see who can win the most demo money at the end of the night, and maybe you'll get a prize or something. So that's a lot of good ideas that I have for this. But getting back to the trading Bible, so we'll be going through the candlestick patterns like the engulfing bar candle, the doji candlestick, the dragonfly, the gravestone, the morning star, the evening star candlestick pattern, the hammer candle pattern, the shooting star candlestick pattern, the harami pattern, the tweezers, top and bottom. We'll be doing candlestick exercises. We'll be doing market structure, how to trade in trending markets, what support and resistance levels are, how to draw trend lines, the ranging market, time frames, and tops and down analysis, trading strategies and tactics, the pin bar candlestick pattern and strategies, trading the pin bar candle with the trend, trading tactics, trading bin bars and confluence, pin bar trade examples, trading pin bars in range bound markets, the engulfing bar candlestick pattern, how to trade in the engulf bar price action. And you see all of these here. So we're going to start with the overview. Let's look. History of the candles. We'll see how far we can get today with this within an hour. So here we go. So the Candlestick Trading Bible is one of the most powerful trading systems in history. It has been invented by Hamoa Miyosha, the father of the candlestick chart patterns. This trader is considered to be the most successful trader in history. He is known as the god of the markets in his day. His discovery made him more than $10 billion in today's dollars. I've spent 10 years compiling, testing, organizing, and consistently updating this method to create my own new version, which is considered to be the easiest and most profitable trading system. So we're going to be going through this. You're going to be learning we're going to learn how to trade. Okay, I just shelled out some money for a course, and I'm not happy about it. And I kept doing that. And there's some psychology behind that. But let's go back into here. So the Candlestick Trading Bible is the trading method that is going to finally take your trading where it should be. Consistent, profitable, easy, and require very little time and effort. Whew. The trading system is based on Japanese candlestick patterns in combination with technical analysis. Learning Japanese, yeah, all what you'll have to do is to spend as much time as you can as you can to master the method that I'm going to be sharing with you and use it in your trade in the financials and any financial market. See, that's why I trade on any financial market. I just don't trade just one specific. Well, I can't say that because right now I'm just going to be trading Bitcoin. No, I bought some in Nvidia, so I gotta see what that's going to. But back to the book. Learning Japanese candlesticks can be like learning a new language. Now, imagine you got a book which is written in a foreign language. You look at the pages, but you get nothing from what's written. The same thing when it comes to financial markets. If you don't know how to read Japanese candlesticks, you'll never be able to trade the markets. Japanese candlesticks are the language of the financial markets. If you get the skill of reading charts, you will understand what the market is telling you, and you'll be able to make right decisions at the right time. This easy to follow strategy detailed in this work will provide you with profit making techniques that can be quickly learned. More importantly, learning the principles of the market psychology underlining the candle methodology will change your overall trading psyche forever. That's it. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to change that mindset. So the Candlestick Trading Bible has already proven itself. Fortunes have been made using the Japanese candlestick strategies. That's what these guys are using. So I congratulate you on taking the first step into trading your trading education. You are on the right path to become a better trader. However, this is actually just the beginning of your trading career. After finishing this ebook, the real work begins. I can emphasize on that. Do not read this ebook very fast. This is not a novel. This should be taken in time to understand all the concepts I discuss and taking your notes. Constantly taking notes. And go back from time to time and review your strategies and I share with you. Remember, this is an educational work that will teach you professional methods on how to make money in the financial markets. If you've got the skill I shared with you here, you will change completely your life and the life of the people around you. That's very powerful because I'm into paying it forward. That's why I am not charging the usual fees that you would find that you'll find on Facebook and Telegram, and you'll see in your feed. And what they're doing is they're showing you one good trade that made them their profit, and then they lure you in, and then they say that it's a whole big thing and you need to spend a whole lot of money to get involved. Well, they don't tell you that until you first. It's a bait. It's like fishing. They get you. You take the bait, and now they reel you in. So we're going to go through the overview. This ebook is divided into the following section. Number one, candle anatomy. Just as humans, candlesticks have different bodies, sizes, and when it comes to trading, it's important to check out these bodies of candles and understand the psychology behind it. That's what that's what you'll learn in that section. Section number two is going to be candlestick patterns. Candlestick patterns are the integral part of technical analysis. Candlestick patterns emerge because human actions and reactions are patterned constantly to repeat. 1 second. I do apologize. That is live, but that was the bank, and I am verifying my um, Coinbase account. Uh, I've got to go through a verification process because they shut my Cash App down. Don't know why they canceled it. That was the easiest and most fastest way to buy Bitcoin to trade on the markets. But Coinbase is going to be just as fast and quick. That's why I'm promoting Coinbase. I'd never promoted Cash App. So, getting back to the Trading Bible. So, I think we went through the candlestick patterns are integral to a part of the technical analysis. Candlestick patterns emerge because human actions and reactions are patterned and constantly repeated. In this section, you will learn how to recognize the most important candlestick patterns and psychology behind formation and what does these indicate when they form in the market. And then number 3, the market structure. In that section, you will learn how to identify trending markets, ranging markets, and choppy markets. You will learn how these markets move and how to trade them professionally. You will also learn how to draw support and resistance and trend lines. And then in the 4th section, it's time frames and time top and down analysis. Multiple time frames analysis is very important for you as a price action trader. That's what we are. When you get action, you get in and you get out. We're scalping. My goal is 250 a trade. 8 hours a day will net you over $1,500. Okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. You would have to reach out to a accountant or tax advisor for any of that stuff. So, the time frame and top-down analysis, multiple time frames, is very important for you to use as a price action trader. In this section, you will learn how to analyze the markets using top-down analysis approach. Number 5, trading strategies and tactics. In this section, you will learn how to market using 4 price action strategies: pin bar strategy, engulfing bar strategy, inside bar strategy, the inside bar false breakout strategy, trading examples. I highly recommend that you master the previous section before jumping into this section, because if you don't master the basics, you will never be able to use these strategies in an effective as it should be. In this section, you will learn how to identify high probability setups in the market and how to use these candlestick patterns in trending the market and ranging markets to maximize your profit. And then last, there is a money management section. This section you will learn how to create a money management and risk control plan. Very, very important. And this will allow you to protect your trading capital and become consistently profitable. So that's the overview. Let's run into the history. So candlesticks have been around a lot longer than any similar in the Western world. The Japanese were looking at charts as far back as the 17th century, whereas earlier charts in the U.S. appeared in the 19th century. Rice trading had been established in Japan in 1654 with gold, silver, and red ripe seed oil followed soon after. So rice markets dominated Japan at this time, and the commodity became, it seems, more important than hard currency. Manamosho Homo, I cannot say this guy's name, so I'm not going to chop it up anymore, aka Soko Homo, a Japanese rice trader born in the early 1700s, is widely credited as being one of the earliest exponents of tracking price action. He understood basic supply and dynamics, also identified the facts that emotion played a part of setting of price. He wanted to track the emotion of the market players, and this work became the basis of the candlestick analysis. He was extremely well respected to a point of being promoted to samurai status. The Japanese did an extremely good job of keeping candlesticks quiet from the Western world right up to 1980. Wow. When suddenly there was a large cross pollination of banks and financial institutions around the world. This is when Westerners suddenly got wind of these magical charts. Obviously, this was also about the time that charting in general suddenly became a lot easier due to the widespread use of PC. That's the personal computer. In the late 1980s, several Western analysts became interested in candlesticks. In the UK, Michael Fearney, who was then the head of TA in the London for Samamoto, began using candlesticks in his daily work and started introducing the idea to the London professionals. In the December of 1989 edition of Futures magazine, Steve Nelson, who was a technical analysis for Merrill Lynch, let me turn this off, for Merrill Lynch in New York, produced a paper that showed a series of candlestick reversal patterns and explained their predictive powers. I'm going to put my phone on vibrate so it doesn't go off anymore. Okay, I'll put it on vibrate. He went on to write a book on the subject, and a fine book it is too. Thank you, Monsieur Fearney. Yeah. Fearney and Nielsen. Since the candlesticks have gained in popularity by the year, and these days it seemed to be the standard template that most analyses work from. Why candlesticks are important to our trading analysis. Candlesticks are important to our trading analysis because it is considered as a visual representation of what's going on in the market. By looking at candlesticks, we can get valuable information about open, high, low, and the close of price, which will give us an idea about price movement. Candlesticks are flexible. They can be used alone or in combination with technical analysis. with technical analysis tools such as moving averages, momentum oscillators. They can be used also with methods such as Dow theory and the Elliott wave theory. I personally use candlesticks with support and resistance, trend lines, and other technical tools that we'll discover in the next chapters. The human behavior in relation to money is always dominated by fear, greed, and hope. I got to repeat that again. The human behavior in relation to money is always dominated by fear, greed, and hope. Candlestick analysis will help us understand these changing psychological factors by showing us how buyers and sellers interact with each other. Candlestick patterns provide more valuable information than bar charts. Using them in this win-win situation, because you can get all of the trading signals that bar charts generate with added clarity and additional signals generated by candlesticks. Candlesticks are mostly used by, candlesticks are used by mostly professional traders, banks, and hedge funds. These guys trade millions of dollars every day. They can move the market wherever they want. That's how come we don't know what's going on sometimes. Even they can take your money easy if you don't understand the game. That's just like any other thing. Even if you can trade $100,000 trading account, you can't move the market. You can't control what is going on in the market. Using candlesticks patterns will help you understand what the big boys are doing and will show you where to enter, when to exit, and when to stay away from the market. Oh. Okay. All right. So it is 1:36. We're going to take a small break here, get some water and stuff, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with me. And we're going to get to the second part of this Candlestick Bible. I'll be training from this. I've got to decide over the weekend if it's going to be every day 1 p.m. To 2 p.m. or 1:30 to 2. We'll figure it out. But anyways, getting right back into the Candlestick Bible. Got my little frosty beverage, so I'm all good. My mouth is starting to get dry from reading. So here we go. What is a candlestick? Um, Make sure everything is turned off here. What is a candlestick? Japanese candlesticks are formed by using the open, high, low, and close of the chosen time frame. If the close is above the open, we can say that the candlestick is bullish, which means that the market is rising in this period of time. Bullish candlesticks are always displayed as white candlesticks. The most trading platforms use white color and refer to bullish candles sticks. But the color doesn't really matter. You can use whatever color you want. The most important is the open price and the close price. If the close price is below the open, we can say the candlestick is bearish, which indicates the market is falling in this session. Bearish candles are always displayed as black candlesticks, but this is not the rule. You can find different colors using to differentiate between bullish and bearish candlesticks. To fill the filled part of the candlestick right here is called the real body. The thin lines that poke above and below the candles are called shadows. The top of the upper shadow is the high. That's this right here. And the bottom of the lower shadow is the low, and that's right here. Candlestick body sizes. Candlesticks have different body sizes. Long versus short. Long bodies refer to strong buying or selling pressure. If there is a candlestick which is to close is above the open with the long body, this indicates that buyers are stronger than they are taking control of the market during this period. Conversely, if there's a bearish candlestick in which the open is above the close and with a long body, this means that the selling pressure controls the market in this chosen time frame. Short and small bodies indicate a little buying pressure or selling activity. Candlestick shadows and tails. The upper and lower shadows give us important information about the trading session. Upper shadows signifies the high session. That's this. The lower shadows signifies Oh boy. The session low. That's this one right here. Candlesticks with long shadows show that trading action occurred well past the open and close. Japanese candlesticks with short shadows indicates that most of the trading action was confirmed near the open and the close. If a candlestick has a longer upper shadow, and a lower shadow, it means that buyers flex their muscles and bid price higher. But for one reason or another, sellers came in and drove price back down to end the session near its open price. If a Japanese candlestick has a long lower shadow and short upper shadow, this means that sellers flashed their washboard abs and forced prices lower. But for one reason or the other, buyers came in and drove the price back up to end the session back near its open price. So that's what I was saying about when you see this shrinking, that's telling you that the the bears, they're pushing it down and the bulls are pushing it up. Okay? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Candlestick patterns are one of the most powerful trading concepts. They are simple, easy to identify, and very profitable setups. A research has confirmed that candlesticks patterns have a high predictive value that can produce positive results. I personally trade candlestick patterns for more than 20 years. But I'm just reading from this. You can read along. You can pick up a copy, but you can read along. I can't really switch to another method because I've tried thousands of strategies and trading methods with no results. I'm not going to introduce you to a holy grail. This trading system works. But be prepared to lose some trades. Losing is a part of this game. If you're looking for a 100% winning system, I highly recommend you stop trading and go look for another business. You're not going to win all the time. Candlestick patterns are the language of the market. Imagine you're living in a foreign country and you speak a different language. How could you live if you can't even say a word? It's tough, right? The same thing when it comes to trading. If you know how to read candlestick patterns the right way, you will be able to understand what the patterns tell you about the market dynamics and the trader's behavior. This skill will help you better enter and exit markets in the right time. In other words, this will help you act differently in the market and make money following the smart guy's footprints. The candlestick patterns that I'm going to show you here are most important patterns that you'll find in the market. In this chapter, I'll be going through to show you how to trade them because this will explain in detail the next chapters. What I want you to do is focus on the anatomy of the patterns and the psychology behind behind its formation, because this will help you help your skill of identifying and easily any pattern you find in the market and understanding what it tells you to do next. If you can get this skill, like I said, this is a skill. So if you can get this skill, you'll be ready to understand and master trading strategies and tactics that I'm going to show you and teach you in the next chapters. So we're going to end, we're just about coming up on 2 o'clock. We're going to end this session of the Trading Stick Bible, and we will continue that Monday. I might figure out maybe during the weekend if anybody is open. I know a lot of people will be traveling, but put in the comments if you're opening to doing this thing during the weekend or spending an hour. I would rather probably spend an hour during the downtime during the day to do just the trading sessions from the Trading Bible, so that way everybody's on the same thing. Everybody's on the same page. So yes, we'll be doing this again Tuesday. The markets will be closed, so we'll be closed too because we're going to be celebrating the new year also. So on Tuesday we'll pick up here with the Candlestick Trading Bible, and I will have a post on Facebook and YouTube prior, I guess, an hour before we start the session. Okay, I do appreciate you. I thank you. I do appreciate and thank you. Like, subscribe, like you always say, and we'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. And we're back on the markets, and lo and behold, NVIDIA jumped up there, and we went ahead and closed it out and collected $1. That was nervous. I was nervous there.
My radar.
So we're going to get back to
I know
the,
some of these mining names, but they're mostly for like battery mining, not coal.
We're going to ride the hour out,
stuff like that. Great
and
looking
we're
chart. I
going
don't
to
have
sit
anything
back
else
and
to
watch
say
the
other than it
market.
looks
So
good.
enjoy.
From a technical sense,
Thanks for
there's
joining.
really nothing that I can say here because we just made an all-time high back on the 27th, given a little bit today. Obviously knocking on the door of that 350 area, bit of a consolidation area over here, where that 350 area can't break, but it's a blue sky setup. It is a blue sky setup. And I want to show you one thing, Adira. Does this look like a Head and Shoulders to you?
It does.
Okay, I wanted to point this out. And the reason I want to point this out, because look, it's got all the right ingredients.
Yes.
It's got an uptrend preceding it. It's got a left shoulder below the head and a right shoulder, and it's got a neckline
Really
break.
strong neckline.
And we only got a temporary breakdown. I mean, off the high, so let's say 270 high over here, okay? Where do we get down to? 220. So even though you could have, with the net break here, you could have taken it on the break of 240, you would have printed $20. But this is very short term. I just wanted to point that out because it's an obvious Head and Shoulders, and it's preceded by the uptrend, but didn't huadunk. So if you had been doing the measuring thing that we talked about, which measuring from the neckline break to the head and measured down, let's see if you would have actually got
maybe
that.
it looks.
So hold on, the neckline break here is say like the neckline break here is around 235. 235 to 268, okay? So you have about $32. And so $32 from here, 238 down, okay, not quite, but you would have gotten a little bit of a move off it. Anyway, it's a great looking stock. I don't have anything other than to say that it's a good looker from a technical perspective, and from the fundamentals that I see here, it looks really good.
Yeah. And I think it shows too, like what you were talking about, the big thing I kind of need, I'm still trying to learn, is that just because a pattern looks like it's going to materialize does not mean it will materialize. And that sort of materialized, but not to the extent we thought it would, right? It kind of went out with a whimper instead of went out with a bang. So and now we've rallied even higher. So I think that's a really interesting look. I think it's the example too of that Li Auto example that you were showing on that daily chart, where it's like Li Auto kind of did not exactly do the pattern you'd expect it to do, or that it was set up to do. But yeah, so I think that is an interesting one here. Also,
I just wanted to mention something here.
Yes.
Picky Eater is educating me, and I really appreciate this. He says, to make steel in a blast furnace, coal must first be turned into coke. Coke has a dual role in the steel making process. Thank you very much for that. And then Anthony above him said, coke is something used to produce steel. I mean, guys, I had no idea. Nelson Dickerson, coke is what is used to burn in the furnaces to make pig iron, which is then turned into steel. I love this, man. The chat just educates you all the time for stuff that I have no idea about. You know, I don't know anything about coal or steel making for that matter. So thank you guys for letting me know what that was. Appreciate it.
Yeah, very knowledgeable in the chat. What I love, everybody's coming from different walks of life.
Yes, exactly.
Spreading new knowledge. And another thing that spreads us knowledge that I would like to talk about is a shout out to our friends at Benzinga Pro. So yeah, really great tool. Strafe's always saying, I use it all the time. I really do use it all the time. I use it for making the watch list. It is a huge tool that I use. And actually, you know, you can sign up today for Benzinga Pro for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders. What you need, though, is the code TTV capital letters. That is TTV capital letters. You just have to use the link in the description to go to the checkout. So that is Benzinga. That's the look on Benzinga, which I use for everything. Also, too, I can talk about, I'm looking at Microsoft. I got into this short. I clearly got out too early, but I also would argue I entered too late. I'm sorry, I got out too early and I entered too early. But yeah, because Microsoft clearly was a short. Like I said, I want to take profit around that
a hell of a double bottom if that
Right now, I
manifests,
think
right?
it might actually move back up. So that's why I'm staying
Well,
out of this for
it
now.
was strong earlier, remember?
was
Before the
stronger,
Fladoom?
yeah.
Like, I mean, everything
higher
Fladoom.
highs.
It wasn't on its own
Yeah.
in that regard. But yeah, interesting there.
But no, I'm liking the look of this too because I mean, like Microsoft's had a really crazy year. We made new highs this year. We had all that OpenAI drums and Satya Nadella saving the day by being like, "Hey, Sam and Greg, come over to me."
Yeah.
In Microsoft, right? So I was literally thinking the other day, you know, what would make such a good miniseries or docuseries? The Sam Altman getting ousted from OpenAI and then being brought back.
Absolutely.
The amount
that
of
would make a
times that I think
damn
about this-
amazing movie.
So much. But yeah, so I think it's a really interesting look here on Microsoft. I think you're right about it's really going to matter what we do
If
at
we have to break that
374.60.
neckline, though.
Yeah, like I'm not touching it till we do anything there, but yeah.
Nicole Harris, you're hilarious. You're like, soda Coke or Reagan's 80s Coke? Come on now. Come on, Nicole. We know what you're saying there. Okay.
I enjoyed
okay.
that joke.
Yeah. Different person. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, it's funny. It's funny. It's just I can't read it out loud. It's funny. Fee rhymes with MC Sharif. They're over there counting the minutes. So, yeah.
Hitting the
Oh, come on,
slopes.
man. I still have to take the subway home. I had to leave my car for my sister. Otherwise, she's stranded. So I'm going to have to schlep up into Midtown. Or apparently, according to the Katina man, I don't live in Midtown.
Yeah, this whole
I guess I
debate
live in
was so
Uptown now.
funny. Wait, so but you live near Yorkdale, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't realize. I don't know well
I'm
enough to know
south of
either way.
Yorkdale by a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
Okay. So by
Yorkdale's
Lawrence
up to
West?
401. I'm in between York Mills and Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Toronto
just
stuff,
Midtown.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of Toronto talk
Yeah.
that
Toronto,
maybe a
yeah.
lot of people don't care about. Guys, we're curling up. We're curling up. I don't know if it's dead cat bounce-ish, but I want to make an observation. A lot of these Mag 7 names are making higher lows. Apple is not one of them. Look at Amazon. Look at the move down. You have the ultimate low at 150.103, and then this low over here, look at this, a higher low at that 150.150. So that's showing that buyers, overwhelming sellers on this particular name. Not so for our friend Apple, where we made that initial low at 190.190, and then we went on to make a newer low at 171.72. So Apple looking distinctly different here from the other ones. I'm saying that tongue-in-cheekish, okay? I know. Than the other names. Meta, a bit of, just looks like a clean double bottom there, but, again, like with Softy, we're going to need to break that 354 level to really get confirmation. Google, another one of those ones that made a higher low. So initially you had a 138.78 bottom, and then this one made a 138.95 bottom right there. So kind of that look. NVIDIA is part of that, part of that crew as well with the higher low, but I already got lost on NVIDIA, so I don't want to get into the whole thing with it, as I have about 15 minutes left on the show. Probably won't be enough time to actually print on this, but if we start tanking again, guys, Apple looking like the weakest of the bunch. Amazon, in my humble opinion, looking like the strongest of the bunch right now with that distinct higher low than the other ones.
I thought you were going to say distinctly different high
I just
low.
said it. I mean, I don't want to kill the dude saying, right?
That's fair.
Big John Del Segno, IWM strong, bottom, and nice W cupping. Want to have a look at IWM?
I would love to. IWM. Originally, I wrote IMW, so that's a fun time. IWM on the Amex. Oh, we're down on the day here. Okay, I would agree. This is a bit of a, yeah, I was making it sound like
I do that too. I do that too.
Yeah, no,
I
we're
get
both like,
excited.
very
Yeah,
hopeful when we see things we like on charts.
Yes, ma'am.
Strong bottom and nice W cupping. Yeah, I would really agree like this. And I think when John Del Segno was saying bottom, I'm assuming it's around this 201 area. I really like the look of this. You know what we've done? We've made a higher high. Boop, boop. Now our next goal. Also, what's interesting is it's kind of around this area where we had this candle, this top and turn here, around this 201.33. You know what's next? The next frontier for IWM as it braves on its Russell journey today is that 201.75. So we have to break that. Also, I think I saw it in the chat yesterday or something. Someone said every day I'm rustling, and I like as a reference to that.
Rustling,
every day.
rustling.
Yes. So I think
so
apparently he says
funny.
hustling like 46 times or something in that song. But rap knowledge, I just know. But yeah, so anyways, I saw that yesterday and was like, may as well shout this out. But I really do like the look of this IWM. I would agree, John Del Segno, I would be looking for a 201.75 break to the upside for this to be a long. But it doesn't, like, this bottom is very strong that I think even if you do go long, you know, again, not advice, but just observation, I think 201 is not a bad area for like a stop loss. Also, I actually might get in on this, so thank you for bringing this up because I do like the look of this. Should we break that 201.75, 201.80 with some decision, with some viciousness, you know what I mean? I like the look of this, to be clear. What else is happening here? Gork Trades, I can't read this name, I'm sorry. Manifesting Apple and Tesla bull run, LOL. Yeah, Apple's still pretty weak. Tesla, though, I can pull up Tesla. I was in, I took a couple drives in the Cybertruck today, and they actually both were successful, so I'm pretty happy.
I got excited for
I
a
know,
second,
I need to
bro.
stop
You
making
have
Cybertruck
no
analogies
idea.
because
Like,
I do
I'm
it,
like,
and then
took
you
a
think
ride
I'm
in a
actually
Cybertruck.
driving the Cybertruck.
Like, where did you even see one? I still haven't even seen one on the road yet.
No, but no, also apparently Cybertruck got into a truck crash with a Corolla. Did you see this?
I'm not liking the Corolla's chances on that.
Yeah,
What happened?
So I'll pull up the whole story. But yeah, I know a lot of people are being like, oh, people think it's like a lot of just Tesla bears being upset. But it was a 17-year-old driving the Corolla. Sounds like it was more the Corolla's fault.
Oh, okay.
Out of all the stories, apparently it was like really populating on Reddit. But a couple like legit sources have
Really?
also, like it's not, you know what I mean? I
Tesla
thought.
Corolla accident.
Yeah,
Let's find out.
accident.
Here we
But yeah,
go.
no, the Tesla stock itself, while you pull that up, looks a little bit compression-y because we have these lower highs, but we also have these higher lows. So I would like to see what occurs here. I think it'll be, yeah, very interesting look. Also, M Stone in the chat saying, low volume lunch. Let's see what happens post-lunch. Will the seller return? Who will return? Yeah, this is the crash I saw.
This is it?
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to find out what happens. Also, Steve J saying Tesla is doing nothing. LOL, people wild. Yeah, I have to agree. Right now, since we didn't make that lower
Look at the
low,
Corolla
so not
got.
much time.
Merc, look at the Corolla over here.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the Corolla over here.
Yeah.
That damaged quite bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is.
No, it's
Sharif,
interesting
coke
look.
is a fuel for blast furnaces and sinsters used to refine iron ore and make steel, etc. Thank you very much for that. Zenod 10. Oh, I think you're behind on the stream a little bit though, because we kind of asked that a little bit a little while ago. But thank you for chiming in. I do appreciate that. Had no idea what coke was, guys. Say it again. Oh, you think so? Like 10 minutes ago, Ramra? All right, maybe. I'm not saying our stream is delayed. I think maybe, you know, somehow some people rewind. That's what all right, low volume lunch. Let's see what happens post lunch. Will sellers return? Says M Stone. Great question, especially with where we are on the future right now. We are kind of coming into that neckline break. Look, I'm not going to be, you know, pounding the table here saying we're going to be bullish, but we are finding a bit of a double bottom. But you know, we're still below many technical levels. First and foremost, you know, we have a little bit of a higher low here on the NQ. That's good. The second thing is we need a break of the neckline, the W neckline over here for the double bottom to really get that confirmation. Then just right above that, we have 17,000 with which to contend. Above that, we kind of have VWAP right there, also at 17,030. So many technical levels to get through. A lot of hurdles on the way, not insurmountable by any means. Here we go. We're pumping into the 80s again. Can we get a 17,000 break on the future and turn this market around? If we do, I'm willing to bet that Amazon probably benefits the most off it because of where the double bottom is. Not even a double bottom, the higher low, I would say, kind of puts Amazon in pole position to benefit from any move up. Not saying we get a move up. If we get a move up, I feel Amazon is, you know, the stronger of the patterns. I would say Apple is the weakest of the bunch. If we continue to move down, I think Apple will probably take it more on the chin than any of the others, just by virtue of the fact that it made a newer low, while Amazon has a higher low on that last little punch. I made that point already, but I want to stress that again because we are getting to that point where we may have to make that decision. And because we're coming into that 17,000 area, and if we break 17,000, or reject off 17,000, whichever the case may be, there's going to be some action here on the future. So keep your eyes, on that, I guess.
Keep your eyes apprised.
Yeah.
Keep your
Okay.
eyes on the prize and a prize.
Have you ever heard the expression, "That's some rare air"?
I feel like I've heard of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I
not,
really liked
like,
it.
fewer and far
On the
between.
compound, I was listening to the compound today, and one of the guests, he's the CEO of CrowdStrike, Josh Brown had him on, and he used that expression, and I liked it. He's like, "Yo, we're in rare air territory, baby." You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, there's some rare air here." So I'm gonna be using that from now on.
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins, trading is essentially very boring, so major kudos to the whole team for being able to entertain, teach 6 hours plus live every single day for years. You guys are number one. Thank you, my man. You're number one. And that's nice and kind of you to say. We do appreciate that. It is a tough job. I gotta tell you the truth. I tell everybody all the time, it's really tough doing multiple things at one time,
is.
but you kind of get used to it.
It's not easy.
Diaz, 29. Sharif, interesting divergence between relative volume in the Qs, in the triple Qs, and the SPY, with the S&P at about half of the relative volume and the NQ trading significantly above relative volume. Very interesting. Yeah, so that means to me that it's more tech focused. Whatever the offloading that
at all
came
the
in today, and
red.
there was quite a bit of offloading. We'll have to look at the volume later on the
Binance
NQ,
coin
but
is really-
it's probably more tech related if that's the
41,000,
case,
man.
because we know the NQ obviously is tech specific. John Del Segno, bonds, specifically TMF blasting off the bottom. Yes, sir. Let's have a look at the TMF for Big John Del Segno. Oops, TMF, which is the 20-year yield, right? TMF. Oh, it's 3 times. Yeah, you showed me this one yesterday. This is the 3 times. Yeah, it's a great look. Higher lows, higher highs, above VWAP. Just made day's high right now at 66.29. Broke through this initial candle of 66.24. Fantastic look. But I gotta tell you, we're coming right into yesterday's closing price, so be careful with resistance right here. This white line, 66.27, that's yesterday's close, and that's also kind of like the mean area yesterday when we broke down. That's kind of like the mean area that it kind of just goes through the middle of the price action there. But great look, possible resistance right now. Keep your eye on that. Arthur Grasso, thoughts on Rivian daily chart? You want to have a look at Rivian?
Yeah, I like looking at Rivian. I know Neil trades a decent amount of
Oh, he
Rivian
loves
as well.
Rivian,
Because
yeah.
I know, I feel like I've heard him mention it as kind of like a counter move to Tesla sometimes.
Huh.
Sometimes they'll move kind of similarly. I don't want to misquote, but that's kind of what I've heard. Rivian's getting
Right.
interesting because Rivian is literally flat on the day. It definitely made a stronger move up when the rest of these names are covered. But yeah, look at this. So we had lots of consolidation in the pre-market around this 23.65. Then we had a bit of a move down right as we opened. Spiked up. I almost said spoke up. It did not speak up. It spiked up, and then flew to the downside like all these other names. Then around 10:45. Well, because all the other names took a little bit longer to pick up, Rivian immediately started picking up to the upside. We just broke above VWAP, which is again not always an area of important interaction here for stocks, but I think this is a really interesting look. Roger's saying they're competitors. Yeah, I mean they're both in the EV space, right? But I think they're interesting with kind of looking
Rivian
at
who?
Tesla,
Oh, yeah.
looking for different plays within sectors, right, or plays within.
Now they're
spaces.
definitely a competitor with the Cybertruck because
Oh
Rivian
yeah,
was
'cause
only
Rivian
making
does the
SUVs.
trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
RT.
had that AT&T deal though a couple weeks ago. I know that was really good for the stock. Yeah, I think what we're getting into this area though that we had that huge quadrunk to show you as a Sharifism here to the downside off this 23.55. So I think what we do at 23.55 could be of interest, especially with it coming into confluence with the fact that we were flat on the day. So I think what we do here at this 23.55 will be interesting. 23.8 will also be interesting because that was kind of where we had that closing candle. I want to say candle close. It's the highest day that we had where we were at actually.
What's
in the
your
candle.
favorite EV?
The ET9 because I'm basic. I really like that Neo ET9, that new one with the
Okay.
separators. However, I also enjoyed the Lucid Air.
Yeah, that's a monster.
The moon car.
I saw that again on the weekend. I was not even the weekend, a couple of days ago. Went to Yorkdale with the sister and the niece and the nephew, and they have a store there. It's a monster in the back. You sit in the back and you think it's like a regular sedan. The distance between your knees and the seat is like this big. It's huge.
This is in Yorkdale?
Yeah.
Okay, well, next time my
Right in
friend I go
front
to
of
Yorkdale
Starbucks.
sometime. Oh.
Yeah, right in front of Starbucks.
Okay, I'm really excited next time I go to Yorkdale because
Oh,
I'm
it's
in
a
Yorkdale a
monster.
little bit.
It's an
I think that
absolute
will be a good time.
Guys, 17,000 incoming. We could get a market rejection here. Let's see, did we make a higher high above this print, 16,992? Yes, we are above that level. So marginally, it could still reject off here. Keep your eye on 17,000. A bit of a double bottom brewing here. It doesn't mean that it's gonna mean anything, right? Just because a double bottom shape took place doesn't mean it's actually going to be a bullish reversal pattern, but it has all the earmarks: a big downtrend and then a double bottom, because we know the double tops and the double bottoms are reversal patterns. So let's see how long it runs for. 17,000 first level. Then I'm looking at VWAP second level. VWAP on my charts around that 17.0 and a third. So if we get above 17,000, we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, lots of resistance with which to contend, sadly, here on this day. It is time, though, Era, for me to bid adieu.
Adieu.
And I will be taking off doing some skiing or boarding, whoever knows. I'm going to decide last
You're gonna
minute.
have to tell us when you get back here, yeah.
Hopefully I won't come back in a cast, like having run into a tree and everything. But
yeah, don't have
yeah.
my experience where you have to get like wheeled off the thing. Yeah, don't
Yes.
do that. You
All
got
right.
this.
Thank
And
you,
we have a
appreciate it.
lovely new year. And
yeah,
we will see
likewise.
you
And
on
enjoy
Tuesday.
your birthday.
Thank you. I'm
Yes,
excited.
I
Yeah.
will. All right, guys. See you in a bit. Obi's coming on.
Au revoir. Yeah, we will soon have Mr. Amazon himself. Not much of a nickname there.
So that stream ended 19 minutes ago. So we're waiting for another stream to come in. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. And we are ready for the new year. We'll be in and out and about on the channel. We won't be live, but we'll be making videos, and perhaps we may be doing some other things. But I appreciate you being here with me, sticking through this. This is new for me. I hope this is new for you, and that you'll be able to gain some knowledge on the
Back in January,
stock
when you want to talk
market
about like
industry. And back to the news.
an asset class that's been booming, you could have got
If it stops buffering.
GBTC for $10. It's $35 right.
Here, I guess I'm gonna.
So, 300%, whatever, to the upside. It's been an absolute monster, and I think Bitcoin continues to work.
Yeah, I think again, gonna stay in play as long as it has those like solid moves and that volatility and that overall structure kind of building into some of these levels here. But Mara on the day here, we talked about this a little earlier as well, breaking yesterday's lows in and around that 28 level. You can see a bit of a distinct buying even in the pre-market off that 28. Sure, you violate it by about 40 points, but that 28 bid kind of comes back in all day yesterday, and coming in today, a little bit of continuation. So it's as if this 32 sold off, we consolidated all day underneath 30, and then today coming in, we got that continuation of the move, the second leg down potentially, or the first leg down, if you want to call this first leg consolidation, second leg. But anyways, continuation of the move from that selling we saw in the pre-market yesterday as well happening today. Strong move to the downside. Bitcoin also pulling back. I think last I checked, we kind of did a little bit of a flush at that 10 a.m. Mark as well on Bitcoin today. You can see it's kind of coming in with the volume, but still pretty much healthy there. I think that Brendan pointed out pretty well there when we pulled up the weekly, and on the weekly it's just consolidating sideways. So that's just consolidation off of this initial kind of push right here. But I think again, like you said, these names have been accumulating volume. They've been trending for a while, and kind of potentially in anticipation of Bitcoin stair-stepping up, right? Never got that 15 flush. I read in the chat, Derek was saying, you and me both, Obi, had resting limit orders to buy a BTC from 15K to 8K on a capitulation move, and that never happened. I was like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for that hard flush through the 10s, through the 15s to kind of just buy all those prices, but that never really comes in. But that's perfectly fine. I think Sean also points out that there are other opportunities that you can capitalize on that did 2x, 3x as well, much later on. Right? So I think that's definitely a good look there. But yeah, we're catching a little bit of a sell today along with the market on a lot of these crypto names. Let me just check out MSTR as well. Wow. Yeah, definitely if you wanted to capture this move and a few points off of this move, MSTR was your guy right there, doing about 55 points to the downside on that flush. Crypto in play.
All right, we'll touch on Uber here, down 2.4%. There was a downgrade this morning. It did try to get back to positive territory, very quickly did, or very briefly did, and also quickly. Right back to lows essentially now, 2.5, still top end of the range. One of the best stocks in the S&P 500 though this year. Nomura says that's too much, goes to neutral with a $62, or 59 from 62, guys.
Nomura, oh, no more. Too much. No mas. Okay, that's a nice story.
So when Nomura gives a downgrade.
Yeah, you better pay attention. And the funny thing is Uber can go directly into the basement for me because, oh man, look at this chart.
Oh, you had it.
Yeah, I had it twice, my guy.
Third time's a charm.
Is it? I'm not shorting now.
I've heard.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I've
they say.
heard,
That
yeah.
is what they say. Yeah. Anyways, Uber to the downside. I use the story today of like, we buy the tops here because of the S&P 500 inclusion. It had a huge move to the upside. I still like the name. Travel names are huge. You know what the fifth largest gainer is? Oops, I just typed it into the S&P 500 this year. It's Royal Caribbean. The bottom of this stock into where we are right now. And by the way, I have to talk about this because I'm going to take NVIDIA long through 500. I just want to see that thing go, see if it goes. It's getting close to 498. Yeah, look, back in January, here's Royal Caribbean down to $50, now up to 130. So 50 to 1, it's almost 200%, on this one. So there it is right there, January of 2023, Royal Caribbean was $50. You double it up, you get to 100, then you go again. And that's what we're talking about, right? So 100%, almost 100, probably 170% or something. Monster move up for RCL. So anyways, I don't know what it has to do with Uber other than I was talking about the travel names and how they seem to be back a little bit. You can see some airlines and stuff like that. I still like Uber. I'm still long it, but I did get some out. Actually a little bit higher than this, in the 62 range. It sucked when it went up to $63, $64, but now you're starting to bump down. I say for this one, we use the 50-period moving average and just get long in and around $56. If it comes back into that area, I think that's going to be a good play. Look, they're making money, but they're not making a lot. We'll see. I'd like to see their next quarter. I think we talked about when their next quarter was. Wasn't it the 16th or something of February? Where is it? 14th of February. So is that Valentine's Day? Right there coming through. So we'll see if Uber tells us that they're still making all of that cash. I'm sure they are, and I'm sure it's great, but I just think it's overdone. And of course, whenever you get them to these tops, and if you go back to Uber and you actually zoom out a little bit, I should have used the other charts. It's gonna take a minute, but there's levels up here near $60 as well that we could, oh man, this might take more than a minute, that we can look at. Okay, whatever, I'll call up on a better chart, but anyway, $60 has been some support or some resistance at certain points, so we'll wait for Uber to come back in a little bit off those tops.
Yeah, no, I like that look there. Kind of, I'm looking for a potential backside on this move there through that S&P ad. Again, a strong volume top made at that 63.5. You kind of come in, consolidate, and now you're selling off. But sideways, nonetheless, holding that 61. So I think some of these levels, 60, 61, 59 as well. You can see a lot of these consolidations and that volatility come in off of these prices there. So I'm going to say patient there, but I do like the idea of Uber backside short. potentially through this 61, but I don't think it hasn't shown anything of the sort, kind of leading me to believe that okay, we are now on the backside. Like pretty much sideways, no significant lower highs or lower lows have been made, no real support levels have been significantly broken as of right now. So going into the new year, I think Uber will definitely be a bit of a decent look. That 64 high could very well come in also, right? So kind of trying to stay nimble on that idea, but I am leaning a little bit more towards the backside.
All right, Baidu just on a pretty good move down right now. I wasn't seeing anything, but decent volume behind this as well, popping back in, back to the downside. Still positive on the day. Nice couple of days, in fact, here for Baidu. If you missed it this morning, they came out and said Ernie now has 100 million users. They're charging $8.99, I believe it is, for it on a monthly basis for anyone their large language model similar to ChatGPT. They came out similar timing as well to that, but overall, positive day, guys, but not much to do. It's been kind of back and forth overall coming into 119.
And there's so much happening right now. We're really starting to get ramped up here on Intel. I just took another JP Morgan short. I'm going to talk about Baidu and Ernie and all that and Bert and all that. But right now, I'm just looking at the Nasdaq, trying to break lower here. If we break this shelf, I mean, really the shelf is going to be 17,000. Right, so that's what we're looking for the Nasdaq right here. See if we can pull down a little bit. We've had this move before and sort of stopped. So let's see if we can continue through right now, back breaking the 50-period moving average. The difference the last time we stopped at the 50-period moving average. Now we didn't come close to doing that. Well, we did, but you know, it's only 10 handles from here. We could easily bump back up, but where's the support? Maybe 17,000. So just to give you guys an update, we're getting more out of Intel, and I put on some shares, so that was going to be a good trade against 50 now. So we're more than 1-to-1 on this trade because our out was going to be 60, which coincides with this. So what's my price? 50. So yeah, so that's going to be the out. Now in the money, and we just took a 35 fill. So that was a good one right there. Baidu, I didn't even look at Baidu this morning. I'm always only looking at Alibaba, it seems like. But let's just see what happens with Baidu here today. And again, as Brendan mentioned, the large language models are all the rage right now. And of course, this one going to be operating in China. And like I said, now that they're able to get some of those NVIDIA chipsets and graphic cards and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I could see this name moving. We talked about relative underperformance in China. And here's another example with Baidu. So I just feel like more due diligence is due on these names. And the reason why is there's so much upside in a lot of these tech names. You're going to compare, I don't know if Baidu is the Google of China or whatever it is, but they all have those comparisons. And it's like, you know, with Alibaba and Baidu, and then look at this name, TCEHY, Tencent is the everything in China. And look at this name. This name's gotten really beat up. Like, once it loads again, I'll be able to show you, but you're well under a lot of levels. So here we go. Like, look at Tencent. If you like it, you know, they got hit on that gaming note the other day. And again, I don't know enough about it, but there's still room to go to the downside. So this is what I mean. If you like some of these names and you're done paying top dollar, Amazon's at the top, Google's at the top, Meta, they're all there. These names aren't. So I feel like there is going to be some strength coming in China at some point. It's just, I still feel, I don't like hearing that President Xi just tells Biden, yeah, we'll probably take Taiwan. Like, he just casually tells him that when they got together a couple weeks ago. You know, to me, that's not great. You saw the reaction that all these companies had. McDonald's pulled out of Russia, a whole bunch of names sort of put these boycotts on Russia and all that for what they did to Ukraine. Now, whether or not that's going to happen to China is a completely different story. So we'll see, but I still think that there's a shoe to drop there, and that's what makes me the most nervous.
Yeah, definitely stirring the pot there with some of those comments.
I don't think
we have yet to see what will come into fruition there, but definitely that techie name has been doing some significant volume. I've been watching. It's been showing up on my Tencent Arvol scanner. Like it's been on there almost every day after that.
So that's good to know.
Dump down, so it's doing significant volume. That's for sure. Again, it's not very often that OTCs do significant volume, but one is definitely an opportunity is there for sure. But yeah, Baidu with with the moves today. I was looking down. I had Baidu 120 written down. Did I miss it? Yes, I did. I was looking for the long through the 120. Glad I didn't really take it, as it only does about 25 pennies above that 120, but that 120 definitely seems like it was a decent place to interact and transact with, as the high is only about a quarter above that, and we flush right back down into previous days' range. So pretty much sideways there on Baidu, but as Sean kind of pointed out, not the only ADR to watch today. There's a lot in play for sure.
All right. I guess we're done the rundown. Now let's try to look for some trades. So the market again, you know what, Obi? Like, I'm hoping for some movement.
I missed a long on NVIDIA, I'm just going to say.
Did it go through 5 bills?
No, but it came down. It tested the lower end of this. Here, I'll pull it up on here. So
I see what you're going to say, yeah.
yeah, so this was the flush. So I observed, I was like, okay, we're in a very strong trend right here. Through VWAP, through the reversion, right? And I'm watching it. I see this pop into that 499.20s, and then the flush. There's the first push into the last dollar before the 500, and you get that strong flush. So I was like, okay, well, I can risk in and around these lows to get in to cancel my order, because I posted, and obviously on a name like NVIDIA, if you throw out a limit order or you post, it can definitely leave you kind of standing there just watching the move there. So I was like, okay, I can risk in the 70s and the 60s, kind of lower than this consolidation range, and look for the continuation of this strong trend off of a full, pretty much 100% reversion going into a 500 break. That's a decent look there, and instantly rebids the 948. Pushes up 949s, and now we're printing a quarter away from the 949. So that would have been a pretty decent scalp, potential for churning some cash flow into 500.
That's flow.
It's the trade though.
I just
That's
put
fine.
this.
I'm patiently waiting for more.
Yeah, exactly. I think patience is a good one. Here, all right, this is a 5-minute chart on the NASDAQ. So this is what I'm looking for right here, is this break. That gets us above VWAP, gets us above this 1740 level that's been broken, that's been holding. So like, you know, when we have a 1-minute chart, maybe you don't see the levels as obvious, but I mean, it's kind of just, you do see it. But I think sometimes, you know, when you sort of zoom back out even to a 5 or a 10-minute chart, you know, that's pretty good. Like, we made all the move down. And if you looked at the same thing, it would have kind of been right here, 16,980 or so for a level. And then once we broke through that, you know, you did make that move back up. So I always feel like if we can break this, then you try to make it back to that next sort of level that we've had. So that could be a 40 or 50 handle move back to the upside into the close of the day, which would not surprise me. And that would get us back to about zeros. And this is not going to be one of the more exciting Christmas or Santa Claus rallies, right? I mean, we talked about, on average, it's been about 2.7% for the NASDAQ, and about I want to say it's like 1.6 or so percent for the S&P. Maybe it's 1.4. We're not going to get to that. I think Brendan said today it was about 1% on the NASDAQ, or maybe the S&P, both similar. So today we'll still hold pause. I mean, we could hold negative. We could go negative, I guess, in the 5 days preceding New Year's, but we'll see. Still seems like it's okay to me. All right. In the theory, or in the spirit of shorting the banks, I'm also getting a little short in the pocketbook here, because now this looks like it wants to go right back up to the upside again here for JP Morgan. So we've averaged into the short one more time. We got stopped out the first time it broke VWAP, but then it kind of ledged out there. It's going to go again. Damn it, man. These banks are just too strong. I was looking at it, and again, I'm trying to do the same thing that I talk about over and over again, trying to find relative strength versus weakness. I just think I thought the market had a chance to go down. We talked about it being underneath VWAP and going to the downside, and I just thought that, you know, something that's been going up. And look, I've been short the whole time. It's been 100% wrong. Like, fighting this bank trend has not been right. I just thought, why not retrace back down into here? We're at VWAP. Thought if the market did turn, we at least had a 170 print, and that would give me the right kind of risk to reward. Looks like we may lose another dime piece on this one right now, especially if it takes that level. And look, I mean, I like this level. Here it is right, okay, damn it, we're gonna get stopped. Like, it's just gonna, there we go, we're stopped out. Like, right back into here. I thought that was a good level. It held, ripped, held back, did not held, broke all the way to the downside. So now, you know, again, remember I told you what my Achilles heel is like, keep on getting into the same name, because we had some wins, but then at the end of the day, you get stopped out on, you know, what you're holding, and that's too much, right? And so right there, the bank's back in Looks like it's going to be a good one. See? And then it just comes back down a little bit. So I said to myself, oh, maybe we got stopped out at the top. But I don't think we should be averaging back into JP Morgan. It's been too strong today, even though it's only up flat. Too strong in the last 2 hours or so. So JP Morgan, let's stay away, although we were only short at 21, so getting out at 31 still sucks, but at the same time, here's a little bit of a pullback, and look what is working. It still seems to be Intel trying to work. I mean, I do have a big position, not a big position, but a decent one, so if this does fly into the downside, this will be a good win for me. But like, you know, I get out of that JP Morgan and now it's kind of just doing its own thing again here right now. So JP Morgan and AMD, really my two big losers today. But other than that, we got to find some more winners here. Maybe go over to Meta, something like that. Yeah, someone just said there, Ash wants to look at Meta, and I was thinking about that name. And it's still under VWAP. Oh, I got to get rid of that spike before you say anything. We went in and out there. But yeah, maybe 355. Tesla's always moving around. You know, that could be a name that we look at for sure.
The 250 was it?
Ooh, yeah, Tesla's right at
there?
250
Ooh.
again. But see, I'd rather get it to these levels.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Is it worth kind of like dancing right now in this market? And then I was thinking like, hey man, we want to go NVIDIA long break. But really, I don't know. Like here's another name where I was looking for go long at through 500 on NVIDIA, just because if we got back up there, like maybe the fade is the right play on that name as well. I mean, it's okay because we're short right now. We're short Intel. So if the market does fall down, I really do like that position. And then look, man, Amazon. I know this is your stock, but I thought I was doing pretty good getting out right there at 153 off of a 154. 152.75, right? Look at that, goes right back into that level, and I was like, okay. And then I felt pretty smart when that happened, but then this happened. All the way down to 151 again for Amazon. And look.
We're right back at it.
Like, is this not a short here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Barcode Central right now.
Yeah.
Hard to find winning trades when the market looks like this, to be honest with you.
I'm looking. So I said it on the midday show. I was like, I'm looking for the short on Amazon off of that VWAP consolidation. We've only been consolidating flat on top of VWAP, so that's not a trade for me yet. It might not even end up being a trade at all. But yeah, no, that VWAP consolidation on Amazon, I'm like, okay, yeah, you can risk. Okay, so here's the idea. Here was the idea, I guess. So highs here at the 60s, consolidation underneath VWAP. We've had strong selling. We've made higher highs on the day previously. That means we're making lower highs now, right? So VWAP, we're consolidating underneath it as of right now. But the fact of the matter is, the market is reverting. Softy's pushing for highs. NVIDIA's pushing for highs. Google is attempting to break highs of consolidation right now, right there. VWAP consolidation highs right there, attempting to push back through it. I don't know whether it's going to get there or not, but it's trying to. And NVIDIA 500 is coming right in, and I just missed my entry at 497.93. So I had to cancel it because as soon as I did put that order in, it just rips right back up through 498 there. So this was a little consolidation, but building up and setting up for that 500, now printing in the 498s. So again, no trade until we kind of pull back in or we go through that 500. But that Google, there it goes, blasting through its consolidation high. Well, not too significantly, but it's made a higher high relative to the highs that this consolidation has had. But you can take a look a little bit further left. The selling came or was stronger right here at this interim high at that 139.70s-ish area. We still have about 10 pennies to get back to that area. So still, this is still in my books there just a VWAP consolidation. We're just chopping and churning and recycling VWAP. We're kind of indecisive here. No idea where we're going to go off of this, but with the limited information that's been printed, these are technically this consolidation is technically a lower high than what we've been printing morning, and strong selling action on the day as well. So yeah, Amazon, the idea for Amazon was kind of similar. They're risking some of these highs to get short underneath the VWAP to take it back down, maybe potentially, I don't know about 151 all the way down there, but a little bit of a pullback off of VWAP maybe into that 152 and see what we do from there, as that was kind of a little bit of a bus stop on the way to back to VWAP there on the reversion. And you can see that the ES is making relatively newer highs with respect to the run back up we've had, and NQ is attempting to do the same here. 1740 will be if we push past that 1740, that could be a decent look there. But look, there's a little bit of weakness happening here on Amazon, so potential to get in for this trade might have been up in and around these 50s and 60s, maybe even 40s. We're not too far away from that, but that would have given you a 20 to 30 penny range to short off of right there. Take a look at this support, turn to resistance at that 152.60. Coming in quite clean, just on a technical basis. Again, I want to say this again. Name technically not in play today, but in terms of there's market catalysts, there's news catalysts, there's also technical catalysts, and I think I like to lean a little bit more towards technical catalysts when there aren't any news catalysts around. But I think that when you do have the confluence of both the technical and the news, that's when some of the best trades are. Right? But if they're not there in a slow, choppy market, I got to learn how to take this beta off some of these names as well, I think. So
that is the confluencing you're looking for, that's for sure. When two things line up, and we talked about that the other day when we had the volume, plus we had support and resistance, and that was at AMD yesterday at 150 was pretty important. Yeah, NASDAQ's coming down a little bit here, which is pretty good. And the chip names are falling as well. We just took double outs there on Intel. Intel came right back into 30. So again, 16 cents in the money. You know, we can't, again, we were short at 170.22 here on JP Morgan, and that was an L, but we did talk about it. So for losing on JP Morgan and winning on Intel is kind of just washing these trades. So looking to get into something and make a little bit more money here, so we can do that heading into the close. You know what level I really like that I just looked at? I was trading in and out of ARM. You and I talked about this a little bit as well, but if you just go to a 5-minute chart here for ARM right now. Let's just do this quickly here, 5 minutes. All right, maybe I should take off these markers. But like, look at this. Pretty much barcoding on a name that's been real aggressive lately. So this seems like it's, I took a couple shots there on ARM, so whatever, a couple shots in the arm, I guess. But, you know, right there, 74.50. So this is just a tale of which way do you think the market's gonna go. I don't wanna, I'm not buying, so I'm not selling into ARM, but I will buy it. So I will buy the break here of 75.50. So that order's already in if we break higher. But you know what? We are starting to edge down. Look at the 50-period moving average going sloping down this way. If the market really loses itself today, ARM could, again, you know, you're bouncing off this 74.50 area, which kind of coincides with that bottom from yesterday before we went all the way back up to the top, $78. So I feel like there could be some relative weakness in ARM, especially if we break right here, right now. So it's just a matter of, do we like that trade? I mean, maybe I should ask some people in the chat here, because this isn't horrible, but maybe we got to wait for a 74.40, 74, you know, something like where we started yesterday. This is why we went to a 5-minute chart. And then if we break that, then, you know, definitely into some consolidation down here. So that gets you like that 40 or 50 cents of a break to the downside. So the more I'm looking at this, I'm kind of convincing myself that maybe we just play ARM to the short side now. I was really liking this break right here. It's because it gets us above the 50 period and then kind of gives us smooth sailing back up here to 76. So this is a trade idea that I have right now. Real trading. You know, I think you can get that break. And then again, ARM is one of the most expensive stocks in the market right now when you're going for PEs and stuff. So I would say watch out, man. I mean, there is something about this making that move back down below right now, especially if we break this 74.60, you could get an elevated move a little bit lower. Before I talk about what its PE is, let me just open it up, because I actually haven't looked at it in a minute since about last week, or when Neil and I were talking. I mean, we've been talking about it a lot, but where it doesn't have it in here. Okay, so we'll figure it out for you. But right now, maybe some of you guys know what the forward P is for ARM, but it's pretty extended at these prices. So I'll look at another source and see if we can find it. But ARM is pretty expensive, so I could see it getting sold off at this level as well. You know, I just know this is a name that people want to buy dips on because of mobile and what ARM means, and it's a recent IPO. So, but anyways, 74.60. Maybe that's a decent break that we should try. 74. We could try 74.50 and then use 60 as our out in case we're wrong. Let's just see what this market wants to do. It's still doing nothing, actually.
Yeah, I'm slow. I'm like watching this momentum into 500 on NVIDIA slow down here on the tape, kind of patiently waiting. Like I said, I want to do here, again, missed the long entry for a potential push in that 500, but overall still holding a trend roughly well on NVDA. Let me just pull it up on this chart here. So yeah, NVIDIA kind of a full-on V-shaped recovery. Highs were 500. We came right back in, testing 49920s there, and now we're slowing down a little bit here. You can see that this trend was quite significant here, and we've kind of started going a little bit sideways, broken the trend, but still consolidating underneath that 500 as we did in the morning session. So pretty much we're back where we started here on NVIDIA, and a lot of these other names as well. Now I'm noticing, Sean, that the top three names, well, maybe not Apple, but the other top names kind of back in well within their range. NVIDIA for sure. Softy back within its opening range. We talked about how that 375 might be a little key there, and that 375 has a consolidation underneath VWAP before VWAP gets broken and some of those highs kind of come in as well. So we pretty much traded nowhere today.
Yes.
We're about to close with about an hour and 10 minutes left. If we stay in and around some of these prices here, we're going to pretty much close where we started off this morning, with a little bit of volatility sandwiched in between the moves there. But this look on 500 is decent. NVIDIA is building up into it slowly but steadily. So I'll stay on watch for that. If you throw up a moving average on either a 3-minute, a 1-minute, or even a 5-minute chart, you'll see that it's holding trend quite well, even though we're starting to go a little bit sideways. But a little bit of consolidation in the same places where sellers came in the morning, I think is not too bad, as long as we hold these consolidation lows, right? So I think that we are poised for a 500 break if we continue to hold some of these levels going into the close and build into that 499 and 500 as well. So I'm gonna stay watching. Lake South Tiger saying, I think Mara has a parabolic bottom right now. So let's take a quick look. I don't know what that means, but a little bit of a parabolic move there. If you kind of turn the chart upside down, Mara. Yeah. So we're forming a little bit of a base in and around 24, 23, a little bit of a support level from before. You can see I have a couple lines of interest there, just some previous support levels before we kind of started to run up this consolidation area here as well. But yeah, no, you know what, I'm just gonna get.
So Intel and Apple have been my number 1 and 2 stocks. I'm wondering about Apple breaking 192.50 here. All right, so this stock right here has a forward PE of 25. If anybody can guess which one it is, you're probably seeing that it says NVIDIA up here. You're right. NVIDIA right now with a forward PE of just 25, right? So let's just check out ARM right now quickly. Someone put 440 as the current PE in the chat. And yeah, 440 is the current PE for ARM. So that's what that is, right? So you're gonna go over here into statistics, and you can see right here, this is just Yahoo Finance. So there it is, man. The forward PE though, because of their guide, right? You need to, that's what you're basing it on, is only 58. But remember, NVIDIA's is only 25, and the trailing PE of 441. So it's like, it's absolutely blowing out all these other big tech names, and that is ARM. And it's just, people are loving it, and they're running right now to buy as much as they can of it. The other big name is AMD, trailing PE, 1.3K. You know, like some of these moves that have happened in some of these names have just really blown out current valuations. I had no idea that AMD is right here, trailing PE was 1,000, 1,300. Like, that's absolutely insane right now. But again, it just goes to show you that we're buying the future. We're buying what could be, right? And I mean, Apple, you're going to see here. Look at Apple's. I'm going to probably say it's around 30. Apple's 30 for a PE for Apple is actually quite high. Oh, I actually didn't know that. I know no one's gonna believe me, but it doesn't matter.
I
Right
believe
there,
you.
the 31.5. No, it's because Apple's PEs are generally in line. That's why, because where it is. So, so Apple's pretty good. You want to look at your stock, Amazon, that always has a huge PE. So that probably has something blown out as well. We'll go over here to statistics and check out what Amazon's is. So right now, 39. Forward PE, which is okay, and trailing of 80. That's probably in line right now for Yahoo, or for Yahoo.
When's the last time that ticker traded?
Well, Yahoo's gone, yeah. Hold on, statistics right here. Let me just check out one more. I wanted to check out what we were doing here with Intel, because this is generally known, forward P only 27, so still relatively cheap at these levels as well. So that's a little look in on price to earnings. And that's where I think that the next shoe to drop is earnings. Let's see the next round. We had such a great round. All of this started with NVIDIA in May, right? Like when NVIDIA's quarter came out in May and the market just went like, oh, that's a nice story, where they were going to go 11 billion in revenue. Something was like, I think people were expecting like 1 or 2 billion. Yeah. They came out with 9 or 11 or whatever it was. I think it was 9 billion more.
Ridiculous multiples.
And then that's when we had to go. That's when NVIDIA went. This is a daily chart, guys. Here's their report in May, okay? It opened the day at 305. It closed at 363. And that's where we started to go. Obviously, we started earlier when we had, Microsoft's investment down here in October, November, and then boom goes the dynamite to the upside. But this is what started the earnings bonanza, right? So we're going to have to wait to see now what we can do with NVIDIA still holding out near the highs again. So, what's been a very, very aggressive year for many, many names, a lot of it sparked there on what NVIDIA did there in May. And then, of course, AMD was just a $94 name on their last quarter, and now it's 150. Hence that crazy ridiculous forward PE or current PE, on AMD. All right, JK, I see one more thing about Affirm and Bears versus Bulls. You can squash this guy or girl, but I don't want to flood on certain things. We like Affirm. I like Affirm. I love to short it. I don't know if you're long or short. I hope that this 49 long is something that you're in. Again, another name that still unable to make money. I don't think, maybe it will, maybe it won't. They got that deal with Best Buy. They're with Amazon. Something else I think just sparked them to the upside. I forget, was it Best Buy? No, Affirm was in with somebody else recently. But anyways, nice move up, man. Black Friday was huge. Cyber Monday, Boxing Day here in Canada. Again, a holiday named after Mike Tyson. Nice move to the upside. I feel like buy now, pay later is going to be a thing. And obviously as rates get a little bit better, maybe that's a negative thing for Affirm because people can then, they'll see their credit card. Hopefully those rates get a little bit lower, which they're not, but maybe they will. I just, if the consumer ever gets weak, man, this name is well pumped. I think it's 24% short float right now in AFRM, 21%. So yeah, next earnings report, Feb 7th. Let's see what they talk about. But again, nice name. I still say it's a short. Give it to 51, but a good move back to the upside there, JK. So glad that you have that. And the other name, of course, in this space that is another huge runner is going to be Upstart. Another one with, this used to have like 30 or 40% short float. Let me just double check what it is right now. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Yeah, 44% short on Upstart. So this name just keeps on getting spicier and spicier. And look at the push down in Upstart. I just think it's a matter of time here before Affirm kind of makes that same move back down. And I know they're not the same business by any stretch of the imagination, but just in these overshot fintech names, I think Affirm's the next leg to fall. And we've talked about that. I think it has a 3 handle on it in January.
Yeah, NVIDIA coming right into that 500, only about 40 pennies away. And just watching the tape here, the stacks on the ask kind of just getting taken out. So sellers getting taken out above $499 on NVIDIA for the 500 break. And then again, we talked about how if it kind of holds above this these areas here, high of day again being $499.98. So we're just knocking on the door of the high, only 2 pennies away from 500. Now again, we've printed 500 in the past couple of weeks, right? The high has been, what was it, 504.31 I have here, and then even before that off of the earnings kind of pop and drop, 509, and then there's 511 highs or sorry, never mind, not 511, 509 highs as well. So 500 is a level that's been printed over the past few weeks or so, but the fact that we're building up into it, creating that anticipation into that 500, and kind of forming some highs and highs on the day in and around some of those levels, being 2 pennies away from 500, the high of day, that's very peculiar there, and we're coming up right into that 499 and change. But yeah, chop, more chop and consolidation underneath the level. So I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to stay watching. But I liked that some of that size getting taken out on the ask very aggressively, and price holding above that 499. And as of right now, we're still holding above I guess. What is this level? 498, point of control-ish area, 497, and some change as well. This consolidation is what I'm talking about. So we're holding above some interesting levels here on the day, pushing right into 500, pretty much sandwiched by about 2 points. This consolidation, kind of a level here, 497 and that 498 and that 500, and we've just been shopping around. So I've been tempted a couple of times to take a scalp for like 50 pennies to like a point, but I'm like, this is Nvidia. If I'm going to take a trade on Nvidia, I'm looking for a few points at least. And we've done quite a few points back to the upside, 10 points or even more. 488s are the lows, and we ripped right back up to 500, kind of opening range consolidation highs. And yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting trade if it comes in. Only about 2 minutes away from Power Hour, Sean. Maybe Power Hour will have our answer.
I won't, but maybe. Yeah, no. So there's the break of the futures. We talked about that move, trying to get back up to the upside. So maybe now we kind of stick in the long. And I'm glad that you looked at talking about Nvidia there, approaching that 5 bills. I kind of like that long. I'm not. What is ARM doing? I'm not convinced ARM's not doing anything. Maybe it's AMD. You know, the name that I really was looking at there was Apple, and I sort of glanced over it a little bit when we were talking. Oh yeah, this wick. Let's zoom back out a little bit here. Hold on a second. Come on. I was hoping there would be something here, but look, I mean, what am I going to do? You're going to go long right now or short? I don't see it. My mistake today, I feel like we have a couple of them, and I mean, the first one, of course, was starting to punch that long in AMD. The second one was getting out of this Uber, but again, look, man, it went right to the 200 period, so I got out of it. Now, obviously, that was at 63. It's now at 61.60, so we did have a pretty big position right there. We were able to make money. We're out a cup of coffee, but at the end of the day, we missed that whole sort of, to take Sharif or your word or whatever it is, quadunk, down there to the downside. Look, man, I have an alert set up here on eSignal. I have a couple different alerts. I have them also set up on here's one on trade ideas for crossing VWAP. Like, we're not getting like 234 was the last, 231, 127. Like, there's a lot, and I just have it. There's more that's happening, but I have it so it doesn't auto reload like every single time it hits an indicator. And then even here, crossing 5-minute moving averages and things like that. Like, this is 241, like Intel, PDD, Intel, PDC group. Like, there's nothing right now in the market that's really triggering anything for me here. So I'd like to get into some more trades. So let's just have a quick look to see if there's anything that anybody wants to look at here, as we can talk about what might happen here into the Power Hour. Palantir, ooh, 1725, okay. Let's have a look at what this looks like right now. Okay, so this isn't bad. Obviously, I still have a 5-minute chart up here. Okay, that's why. I was gonna say. We obviously missed that move in Palantir. You know what? I'm gonna switch this to a 3-minute here because the market's pretty slow. So it might help us see. And Adara, actually, you had a great question for Adara, by the way, and you did a great job on the midday show. So that's first and foremost. You asked Adara about trading Tesla and sort of the volume that it does versus other names that maybe trade a little bit less volume. And she said, like, I like Tesla because I can see the levels better. When there's some more volume, it gives us, you know, easier levels. And I think that that's a great call. And I also think that whenever you're having a little struggle time trying to find trades, you can always zoom out a little bit. So even though I'm using a 1-minute chart mostly, let's switch to a 3 because the market's kind of, you know, flat a little bit right now. So let's see if there's any key levels that are showing up on a 3. And I'm glad I did that on Palantir because, look, even if I go short now, where are we going to run into some trouble? Maybe we barcoded here for an hour and a half at 1720. So my I going to put a big amount of shares on here to make 3 or 4 pennies when if I'm wrong, it could just glide right back up to VWAP and lose those pennies back on the other side of this thing? So when you sort of zoom back out, it gives you sometimes that look that says, hey, unless we're up here and you're playing off of that level, maybe it's not worth it kind of playing in the middle right now of the range. So like, look at the bid ask here. Ask on this side. The supply is 5 times. Look, it adds it up here, 27 versus 6. 4 or 5 times the supply on this side than that side, and still the market's just like, all right, we don't want to do anything. So let's look over at Tesla, a name that potentially could have movement in it. Down 1.2%, so that's nice. Under VWAP or at VWAP right now, and under the 200 period as well. So this name could get some juice. And actually, we just went up to that high spot again that we looked at, 251. This could be a good short, especially if the market pulls down in a little bit here. Problem is, obviously, we're at that key level of 250. Let me zoom into a 1-minute chart now to see if we get a little bit more love in Tesla. I hope I have a voice left for this podcast, by the way. I feel like I'm just like rambling and talking. It's because there isn't much to do right now. Yeah, we could go short here. Do you want to take a short? I mean, not you, but just talking out loud and everybody in the crowd. Do we want to take a short here at 250.50? That could be something, right? For Tesla. Maybe the idea is, Obi, is that we put on, so like I'm just holding Intel right now, which has been pretty good. And thanks for the love on Fisker, guys. We are still holding that trade, and again, it's because it's doing this. What am I supposed to do in the since I mean, Fisker an hour ago, or sorry, at 11:05, that is 4 hours ago, Fisker was 176, now it's 180. Not much happening there for Fisker. But it's all about, for me, looking at names that are moving around, and maybe it is going to be Tesla breaking this 250 marker. Let's just take it. Let's take Tesla breaking 250, because that's the 50-period moving average, and we could try to give this 50 cents. Does that make any sense? Let's hope it makes 50 cents. All right, Tesla. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be, Dara is the pun one over there, but that was, yeah, you enjoyed it? Okay. You enjoy a lot of things, I noticed, Dara, by the way, which is good. I think that's, it doesn't mean you're easy by any stretch of imagination, but easy with your flow, and that's the whole point there. The puns continue, and Obi, you're a good guy for puns.
I try. I mean, it's there sometimes it's not.
We are in Tesla now.
Yeah. What's happening with Tesla? 250?
I mean, it's just what we just talked about. Yeah, I think a 250 break makes sense to me. But yeah, and it's just during the midday show there. I sit here and I listen. I'm always chuckling. Like, there's always something that is said about any kind of name that we're trading. There we go. People like NVIDIA. There it is. You see where NVIDIA is?
Yeah, I'm a little involved, kind of.
Oh, you're involved. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Short?
No.
Oh, not good.
No, not good. What
is NVIDIA doing? 47. Yeah.
Hush, yeah.
So you see, we could have easily shorted NVIDIA right there, and at O's, at 99s. Giving yourself $1 worth of room, there's $2 worth of risk. But again, that crystal ball, man, it's very, very hard to predict something in the market when you don't have all the information. All right. Let's see, where are we? All right. Will the NASDAQ touch 17K at some point today during the open market? Sometimes you have to be very specific because, it touches it in the aftermarket and the 8 ball laughs at you after, because it's like, I was right. Uh-oh, it says only if something. Only if Apple is negative. Okay, so that would make a little bit of sense. Let's go over and look at what Apple's doing right now, as we will just trust on the 8 ball to give us all of the answers. So Apple's already negative, so there you go. So you could throw that 8 ball out. Shout out to D. Westermeyer, who made that for us. It's very cool. It's a very specific 8 ball. It gives us, sometimes it says stuff about what Neil says or what I say or Sharif and vice versa. So we'll find out about that. But hey, there's Apple right there underneath VWAP. We were waiting for a VWAP take on that one. Maybe the market does bleed down, Obi, the rest of the day. Are people profit taking here into the new year? That could be something. NVIDIA, Tesla. Tesla's making the move a little bit, trying to. We're short Tesla. You're long NVIDIA. Oh yeah. Man, this is not going to work out.
Giving it some room there, but yeah, exactly. Giving it some room there, but again, I was a little too hasty on the long, but the flush does come in. We do break a little bit of a structure there on Nvidia underneath that 498. But again, like I said, I'm looking for a little bit of a move here, and if I don't get it, that's perfectly fine as well. But the market holding up on top of that 490. Sorry, that 17 thou, kind of trending slowly. We have been making higher highs and higher lows relatively, and the pullback, I'll give it some space. I'll give it about a point or so to kind of work there on Nvidia. Again, it's a $500 ticker, right? Yeah, my entry a little bit hasty, but I think the move potentially still has some potential there. Whether or not it comes in, I could be totally wrong. As of right now, I am pretty wrong on the ticker because again, got in at the wrong spot, but just looking for this move to kind of come into fruition. Let's see if it does or not. That 497, 498 level, pretty interesting on that shelf there. So we did kind of build up into it. A little too aggressive here on my part, but I'm willing to give it some room and let this work as the market kind of just chops around, still well within that same area here. I'm looking at Apple and at Softy and Alphabet as well, kind of pushing back towards their highs also. So some strength across the board. Nvidia, a little bit of a pullback off that 500, but let's see how this strength upholds.
Okay, Scott, so I see what you're talking about there. And I mean, I was also talking about, we had Michael Noss talk about tax loss harvesting and all that kind of stuff earlier. I don't mean that people are going to be selling, positions to pay tax. Like it could be somebody that's maybe not even positive this year that has just really rode the last, couple days in the NASDAQ, to the upside. And maybe they've just been long in December and just want to get out before something potentially happens in January. I don't know. It doesn't mean that just because you're harvesting tax wins when you are long and you've been now Tesla wants to go. When you've been long and now you're like, oh, I want to reap the benefits. But there's some traders that maybe didn't have a great year and are just now trying to maybe take some profits in the month of December. I mean, this has been a crazy month for the NASDAQ here. Hold on, I'll switch all the charts here. As you can see with this move in a second when it loads up, top to bottom this month, I think in the NASDAQ alone, I mean, here it is right here. The triple Qs were roughly at 385 up to 410 right now. So if you're getting a little nervous that, hey man, maybe we're topped out again right now, maybe you do sell something into the close. That's kind of what I'm talking about, but all right, it looks like we may get, I'm hoping for a nice rally. I mean, I'm hoping for something into the close. I know you have NVIDIA, which is really great. Tesla's trying to go upside a bit here, but we're not nervous hands because this is kind of like, we shorted it there. We don't have a big position, but I'm gonna put a little bit more on. I feel like I might be a moron shorting this, but we might put a little bit more on if this market continues to go a little bit higher into some levels of possible support, so or resistance in this case. So that's it right there. We just took a little bit more short, and yeah. And what might be the stupidest play again by me is trying to find something to trade. And you guys said it in the midday, when there's nothing to trade, maybe there's nothing to trade. And that might be the case right here. So we were always going to use this 251 as sort of an out. I just thought that if we broke and continue to go lower, we'd be upset to not have taken
trade
this. So we'll take a little bit more up here. And then what is that high? 51's flats, 51. I don't even want to play off that level right there. I was looking at that, but if we break through here, I feel like maybe just get out. That 251.05. That level, how high up is that? 35s, yeah, too far up. So, okay, so we're gonna have to take some more averages in here, pretty close to 251, and then we got to give it up to like 251. Yeah, maybe we'll take some orders here and then give it up to 35. I don't know. We've had a great month. It's not like we're giving it all back, but we will be red because we've made a mistake on JP Morgan and then a mistake again here on Tesla. And then earlier on, we busted through on AMD, which did not work out for us. So yeah, just we have some wins on today, but not very many, as it's been just one of those days where you need not hold for big moves unless you were short during that morning move. So here we go. Tesla, I'm talking so negatively, I'm out 30 cents on Tesla. Like, it's just, this is how the market makes me feel right now. Not much happening Hobie.
Yeah, I got out of the NVIDIA. A little bit of a mischief managed there. I'm looking for. I was looking for a potential reversion of. You, did you get that reference?
I did not.
Okay, I'm a little bit of a Harry Potter fan, but yeah, it's from there. The Marauders map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
When they close the map, the spell for closing the map is mischief managed.
I have a story about the map, but I'm going to think about what it is before I misspeak because I see that you are a Harry Potter guy.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So I got out of NVIDIA there, a little too hasty, but I was like, okay, well, if it's I was too hasty on this entry, and I'm like, okay, now we're getting a potential reversion as the behavior has changed. All the selling, I was there for it, I experienced it, I felt the sellers kind of push the position down because I entered too early. I'm like, okay, well, clearly not the right place. And then when it does set up the right way, I'm like, all right, this is the spot I'm gonna add here on NVIDIA on the 497 hold. Take a look at that. The 497 holds quite nicely, and I'm giving it a point or two to kind of work itself out. But take a look at this here, NVDA. But okay, so it comes right back into that consolidation and then instantly starts to stall. So I'm like, all right, well, that stall is a little bit of information for me, and I just want to piece out. I'm already in a position where the initial entry was not the best, and I held it almost a point against me, which was part of the plan, right? But then when it gives you that setup to come in, I wanna stay aggressive, I wanna stay involved, get some more, and then peace out into the 498 when there's no real follow through back into that level there. So let me just pull up the chart here and take a look at what we're talking about. So again, got a little lucky, of course. I didn't know it was gonna do this. This could have very well just slammed my face into VWAP down here, 495s, and I would have lost on the trade, and that's perfectly fine because I was giving it just around a point or two in and around some of these levels from before, right? Some of these pre-market levels are in and around here, 497. That was the place I should be risking here, right? So that's kind of support. That's where support has been all day. Support is down here as well, but in the pre-market there was support at that 496, 497 before we got that push into 500. So if we're getting that push again, once again into that 500, I'm potentially looking for some of these levels to hold, and they did. And I just want to piece it out into that 498 test, because if we don't kind of reclaim this range here right away, again, that's a little bit. I already fumbled the trade, so I have to be nimble on. I think I have to be nimble. I don't know if that's the right way to take it.
What was the price?
So my initial long was what's this? You know what? Let me check my here. So the initial long was 27s, so 98.27, so a little too high, but getting in at the low of this consolidation, kind of where these higher lows are being made. So I'm like, all right, we'll take it here. But my mistake was not really reading the tape, right? I'm just like, okay, it's coming into this level. I like it on the chart, but I'm not really observing what the tape does, and the tape is clearly selling off of these highs. We just rejected 499 and change, just a few pennies away from day high, and I get long on the first flush back down into the consolidation range. So definitely a mistake on my part. But again, knowing we're observing how choppy and full of fugays NVIDIA is and can be at times, you get that flush, you get that pop back in, you get the test of that consolidation range, and then the move kind of comes back in. So 498 was a decent reason to sell.
I have the Harry Potter story.
Yes.
Okay, so Peter Pettigrew, right?
Yes.
Was Ron's rat.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So now, his twin brothers had the map.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And Peter Pettigrew was a rat.
Yes.
That should
Significant name.
be showing up on the map.
Yes.
So Ron slept with his
Peter Pettigrew,
rat
yeah.
every night.
Every day.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So how come the twin brothers never noticed? Why is there a grown-ass man in our brother's bed every night?
Maybe just want to give him some privacy.
No, and the reason why, maybe, but the thing is that I don't have any
He has
problem
like
with
respect
it.
his space. I don't know.
The reason why I'm saying this is because the wife and I, she likes Harry Potter, and she was thinking about it. She must have probably read it somewhere online because they've been so good.
Yeah, it's a plot hole.
Right,
yeah, I've heard this one before.
Oh, you
but
have
yeah,
heard it before.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe you knew what I was getting at. Okay, so that's what it was, because apparently the Harry Potter series doesn't have too many holes at all.
Really?
You tell me, dude. I mean, I have no idea.
There's definitely
Like, what's another one?
That was the main one, but
Is there another one? People in the
that's
chat-
one that I've heard.
See, there we go. Jason
said.
didn't realize that. Now he's scarred for life.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm ruining it. What am I
Yeah, I mean,
ruining?
people have answers to that.
Spoiler alert: Harry Potter, this brand new series just released.
Come on.
Um,
If you haven't at least watched the movies, come on.
Anyways,
Movies weren't too bad. Books.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
usually the case.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what my wife. So we were when my kids were starting to learn how to read and everything like that. Harry Potter was one of those books that was either being read to them by myself or Marissa, and then they started reading them themselves.
I remember I used to be pretty crazy about it. Like I would wait in line for the new books to come out
because
because
like
like
dressed up. I'm gonna ask her.
after I did start reading them, I think the fifth, sixth, and seventh book still had to come out. So I was waiting in line for each and every one of those, and kind of pretty much finished them within a day or two.
Wow,
Yeah,
good
I
for
was
you,
just
man.
like
You're quite the reader.
I was more addicted than a reader. I was just like, this story's so wild. I gotta know what happens next. So literally, there were days where
Good,
from
man.
the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, pretty much that book did not leave my hand. But
Sick.
good times. I do the same with trading. So
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what you're passionate about, Mr. Potter, and now you're passionate about trading, and that's absolutely great. So there we go. I hope that added a little bit of excitement and enjoyment to the afternoon.
we need some Wingardium Leviosa on these tickers.
Yes, I know what that means. That's a rise.
is it Leviosa?
Is that the light?
Leviosa?
Turn on the light or
It's
Yeah.
it's the
levitating?
yes.
My kids used to go to me. They had like a Harry Potter wand, and he's Guardian, whatever it is. All right, so let's go. I don't need any levitation now. We are short. I'm the only one in position, so let's think that we go down here right now. What is the spell for like to hell with you? Because that's what I want to put on.
Avada Kedavra.
Abracadabra?
So you can say that. Avada Kedavra. Or something like-
Avarda Kedavra.
Yeah, that'll work.
Close enough. I don't feel like that's not going to work at all. But here we go. You know, the thing is like whenever I say this all the time, whenever you say, God, please help me, or you're looking for a higher power, whatever that may be, that's when you know you're in a bad trade. You know, because
You're
like,
holding and hoping.
Yeah, exactly, and it's false hope. You know, at the end of the day, when you're expecting a higher power to somehow affect your stock that you're in. This is a long version. There we go. We have now been blessed with presence here today. The presence of a higher power is now here, and hopefully taking this market. Look at this. Everybody absolutely loving this in the chat. Thank you
that's
so
going
much.
on.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I mean, that's why I'm trying to add a little bit to the show here, right? So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and please, if you think this is funny, I mean, I'd love to do the podcast with Obi as well. Hopefully one day we'll be able to do that. Right now we're just building the podcast. We're going to find the right format. We're going to find, guests, how this works out. But for right now, it's going to be me and Brendo live. We film it tonight. Oh yeah, by the way, we may have to adjust this because the market recap show is just so damn popular, but it does not exist on Fridays because we film and record the podcast. So do not join me tonight for market recap at 4 o'clock. But join me right now because here comes Tesla. And again, whatever that little spell was, my friend, may have just worked out. But I did not get filled because why? I'm bidding 90s. And you know where Tesla just stopped at? 90s to the exact penny. I'm like, oh my God, maybe I should pull this. But no, it literally stopped at our level, right? Look at that, 90. Look at that on the chart, stops at 90. And I was only trying to take 20 pennies on a little piece of this thing. But again, look what discipline and patience brings you, okay? We always, and you guys that watch this, VWAP is the thing for me. We do like the 50-period moving average as well. And I'll talk about that. That's more for retracement plays. Thank you.
Oh my God.
The 250.
We got a fill. Oh my God. So there it is. There's a nice little fill there as yes, sir. Oh, we get the fill and it comes. All right, so we got out 15%. Every single one of these tranches now will probably be about 20%. I'm not going to do that 10 thing. The market right now is just, it's not really moving. So if there is going to be a flush, I'd feel silly just getting out of a piece here, a piece here, a piece here, a piece here. So we'll wait to see if we do get that move into 17,000 like I thought maybe we could get. We just touched 1713 again, so that's a decent level. And again, I feel like I'm learning more and more about my own style of trading and what this market really wants to give us, Obi, because instead of trading equity, I should have traded futures. Because if the market's not going to really do anything, put some money into the futures so that if you do get a move down, your profits are going to be accelerated, and your losses would be as well. So it goes both ways. But it's like looking at the NASDAQ right there, you know, that's not that it's a good level, but you can play these ranges back and forth when you're looking at a stock maybe like a Tesla right here, where I guess if you'd waited for that, fine. That would have been good, but there's another take right there, and I'm not even making that much because I started the move there. So it just goes to show you if you were patient enough, and right now that would have been a 50-cent win, and I might have taken it all out, you know. But for right now, taking 20 cents on Tesla, you and I both know that we can get a lot more out of that name than 20 cents. So let's see if we can do that. Are you wetting the beak again? People are asking about Nvidia because it's back down to 497.
No, I'm pretty much done with it. It pretty much showed me that it doesn't want that 499 and change. That's kind of the area there. And while I was kind of doing that, and that dump kind of happened, the trade that I didn't want on Amazon comes in. We were looking for that 152 to come in off of a VWAP risk around 153.60s, or sorry, was it 152.60s here, right here. So take a look at that, 152.60s in and around that area. Support, turn of resistance, confluence with VWAP. Market does a little bit of a pullback. And yeah, so I was thinking about it. I was mulling it over. I'm like, oh, okay, this deserves about 20 to 30 pennies of risk here. What can I size into this? It's the end of the day. Volume's kind of, it's there at times, it's not there, but we're choppy, right? We've had that strong sell in not really in the midday, but in the morning session as that sell comes in at 10:30, and then we've reverted. We've only reverted since 11:30. So that flush lasts for about an hour there, and then an hour flush. Wow. And then we consolidate, and a nice little clean move back up. The reversion on the futures definitely much cleaner than the rest of these names here. But if you're talking about Nvidia, of course, the Nvidia reversion was absolutely crazy. Softy as well. Softy pretty wild. You can see the NQ and the ES reverted about 50% of their move there. But Softy and Nvidia both very, very different here. So we got a flush of about 3.5 points ish, give or take. On Softy, yeah, 3.6, and then you got that reversion was also about 3.3. So you got almost above an 80% reversion for sure on some of these names. Nvidia as well, even closer of a reversion as we only come in about 20, not even 20. Was it 20 pennies or within the dollar, right? Within the dollar, we come into 99s. The high is right. So 99.50s is the high of this top, and the high of the morning top is 99.98s. So about a 48 penny difference between this top and this top that we've so far made on the day. So the reversion has been very, very strong on some names. Now, if you take a look at a name like Apple, not really looking the same. If you take a look at a name like Amazon, same thing, not really looking the same there. So you can definitely kind of judge relative weakness and relative strength with a little bit of that how well it's how would I say it, betaed up, how well it's following the beta move off of these futures here. So Softy and Alphabet as well. I guess Softy, Nvidia, and Alphabet, Google over here kind of not really retracing the whole move, but definitely a lot more than the others. We talked about that VWAP consolidation breaking through in and around 3 going into power hour, and we've only consolidated above that consolidation from before. So a little bit of a stair step, and yeah, this is pretty much, like I said before, we're pretty much going to close where we opened here. So haven't really moved too far in terms of a daily perspective, right? We can take a quick look at the day, and again, it is the last day of the year, so wouldn't it be befitting to kind of look at how we've done on the year on some of these names as well. Some of these trades kind of set up. Like I said, missed a trade there. 152. I was looking for that. Potentially missed a trade as it does a 15 penny bounce, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for at least a nice little flush down to the holes. That's 152 from up here from the half. So that's what I was looking for. We already got that. That's a missed trade for me. I got to do much better on getting involved with some of my trade ideas, but it is what it is. Let's take a quick look at the Mag 7 and what they've done this year, right? So we talk about how they were pretty strong. Apple started off the year at year lows. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at a 12-month candle. So here's the thing. I know a lot of people don't really do this, but here is a 12-month chart, a 12-month candle on Apple, and you can see a little bit of a 3-bar push. So we're a little strong. That may or may not show some strength. Let's take a quick look at Google as well. Kind of a choppy range, but pretty strong as we wiped a good part of 22 back this year, right? So 21 was hot, 22 was not. In terms of the downside, kind of came in, wiped that whole bar, and we get that nice wipe back. So bigger picture potential consolidation on the 12-month chart here on a lot of these equities. Let's take a look at our friend Amazon as well. Oh boy, take a look at that. That looks nice. But a little bit of toppy action at that 188, but a nice strong build as well. What's the name I'm forgetting? Nvidia, of course. Nvidia, kind of the leader of the strength this year off of those AI news. And take a look at this 3-bar. Oh boy, did we really break out? This breakout price being 345. And you know what? I'm curious to know in which month did we break that 345? Okay, so June. So mid-year, around mid-year, May, June was when that top was broken, and we've held above those tops, kind of pushing into
That was that May quarter we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a pretty strong year, and Apple as well, kind of pointing out this distinct kind of action here, bit of a chart pattern flag showing up on a longer time frame. You know what? Let me pull up the weekly. It's a little bit better. Daily's not too bad either. But yeah, take a look at this. A little bit of a flag breakout there. Continue for the continuation move. We came all the way up from was it sub 100? No, that was before the split or post split. Yeah, post split, that was in 21. But this year itself, lows being at 125s, and this kind of consolidation flag happening over previous highs as well before we break out. And this is in and around this point. I kind of observed when we did break this multi-month, multi-week, yeah, I was going to say multi-year, but that's not multi-year. Multi-week flag here. Take a look at the buying that comes in very aggressively, and I think if we look at some of how I think a lot of people were sitting on shorts earlier on in the year, right? Because last year was pretty red, and they were like, how much more can this year go back up? There's no way we're going to wipe all of last year, and that's exactly what we did, especially with Nvidia leading the way on a lot of this strength this year. So it's been a pretty solid 12 months. All you had to do was buy in January.
Yeah, that's all.
Buy low, sell high is what I've heard. How true is that?
Very. You just got to try to master that plan. And that's the hard part, Obi. It's never hard to do something that makes sense. It's hard to execute it sometimes because you don't believe in it.
I'm trying to get better with that.
We all are, and that's the whole point of what we're doing right here, right now. Okay. Someone just asked, and we're gonna give a couple picks later on for what is going to be. Someone just said in the chat there, what do you and I or whoever in the chat wants to participate in this as well? Maybe let's put some. I mean, we could put some names in the chat right now. I mean, this is gonna be the last trading day of the year. The podcast is gonna focus a little bit on year-on review and maybe what is possibly gonna pop in the next coming year. And someone just said, what is going to be, and you just talked about NVIDIA, what is going to be 2024's NVIDIA? I think maybe NVIDIA could be. Yeah, I don't think NVIDIA, I don't think it will pop.
Showing its head.
Yeah, another 250%. But there is a lot of stats out there that this year we only had 2.4 at the S&P 500. I think we're up 2.4%. We're up over 100%. So that doesn't happen very often, and you're not going to get names that are ripping and rocking too much. But you know what? I don't know if Eli Lilly is going to continue doing what exactly it's been doing. Okay, but this stock was also kind of like an Nvidia this year, where we started the year down here at 300 to close the year at 600. So here's one of those names that almost went up. It didn't quite go up that much because it's not even part of the 100% club. But I do worry, again, you're starting to sort of barcode out a little bit here. I don't know, I can't remember the exact name of the drug because there's so many different ones. But what really caught me, and I said this to Brandon, and maybe we'll talk about this on the podcast there. First of all, let's go in Tesla. Hopefully this gets to the downside, dude. I'm bidding also again at the same spot that we were at last time, just to get another piece out. Is that, you know, this drug with controlling, again, it was diabetes, obesity, and also a big one to me too would be addiction control as well, right? And so again, I'm not by no means a doctor, although my handwriting, some people say, is ridiculous, just like a doctor's, is that this has a good chance, I feel like, again, get some more FDA approvals, and I have to look to see what's going on in the pipelines and stuff, but this name could bounce as well. There's Novo Nordisk, a couple different things, and that's why I really feel like an ETF that people may want to look at is this XLV, which is the healthcare ETF. So, you know, some good potential in this one. And if you zoom this back out, there's ways to go on this. And it looks like it's trying to bump its head off of a very, very key level here as well. Trying to break through this 135 up to 140 and then moon from there. And we'll show some more charts and things like that. But I kind of like XLV here. Oh, you just saw there it was starting to go. XLV still has some movement, so you're trying to clear through some of these levels. Sometimes it's good to look back on weekly charts and things like that. Obviously, as an ETF, it's pretty choppy, but I like healthcare. I like Eli Lilly. I think that has a good chance to go. I know Neil said ARM, but that forward PE to me is a little bit spicy to me. I don't know if I really like that. So yeah, I would say Eli Lilly maybe has a good chance of doing something this year with approvals and things like that. And then, not to talk about my own book, because I own pretty much every single stock. But if big data is going to be a thing, and we're going to get a little bit more efficient on all of this, then how about a look at Palantir? Palantir doesn't even, it's at $17 today. It was $22 a couple weeks ago. But all it has to do is sort of get going with this market, and right there, you just get back to 22 bucks. Then right there, that's 30% from where we are right now. So I think Palantir does have a good chance. The other one right there, I just saw SoFi. That could be something as well. You know, again, talking about SoFi and the student loan repayment program and things like that. Remember when we talked about Palantir? I'll give you a shot. Think about a name, Obi. Maybe you already have one. Remember when I was like, oh, Palantir, we want to short this name into 720. Well, it's there right now. So we only had to wait about an hour for this thing to move down. Meanwhile, let's go Tesla, as we have this name. Now 50 cents in the money. See if we can get this to go to the downside, and let's just go a little bit right now and see if we can drop down some cash, as that's what we're making right now on Tesla. Nice move back in. It's bouncing off to 200. We have to take a piece out right now on that. So we'll bid 79 and get run over as soon as we do it, but that's good. I can't complain about getting a fill when I put the order out. So there it is right there. Nice little move to the downside here for Tesla. So I hope you have this one with me. Not to say anything about your position there, Scott H., but the market is still flat. And we'll see what it wants to do. And meanwhile, we are still short right now Intel, which we just took a little bit more out as well. So back-to-back short jacks right now, and we'll see if it can win. You like any names in this new year?
Yeah, so again, I understand the value that, the potential fundamental value that Palantir has, but as you know, like I don't know too much about fundamentals, but when I hear Palantir, it reminds me of a lot of the other runners that it came out with during COVID. So I think again 2020 and 2021 Palantir has some crazy moves, and again there was a lot of hype and buzz about this name, again being at the right place at the right time. I think, wasn't Palantir a SPAC as well? I think so. Palantir might have been a SPAC. No, it was an IPO. It was an IPO.
Direct list.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so in and around those times where tickers were getting those crazy moves. So other names that I can think of right off the top of my head are Carvana and Zoom.
Okay.
Right. So we can take a look at Zoom.
Don't mind that
Again,
Zoom call.
Zoom is yeah, nice. I like that. Zoom is again, it's so funny. I kind of thinking about this. I had friends who were literally putting their life on the line, kind of backing for this name because they were like, "Oh, this name's only gonna go up. We're going to 1,000. This is like the next Apple, Tesla." I'm like, "All right, buddy. Let's see." They were at the right. They pretty much do what Skype does, right? And the chart speaks volumes.
And Skype doesn't exist anymore.
No, it does. People still use it, but
it's called Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft Teams, yeah. So that's being used a lot more. But yeah, take a look at this. It kind of falls right back in, nice little flush and consolidating. So that's not a bad look here. Kind of holding on to this $60 mark.
I like that.
There on Zoom, and it's come from quite a ways. So I know people who went long and swung this name into the highs, and kind of some which held it back down, but some took their profits. And I know people who kind of took the swing short off the 500, off the 400, off the 350, off the 320, off the 420. But you know what? Like it's kind of holding on to this base. So we talk about tickers that have sold off massively and can't really sell off anymore. They have all the bad news kind of in them. So looking for any sort of pops on any sort of news now is kind of what I'm looking at on the Zoom chart here. Now we haven't really had anything significant in all of 2023, so I don't really have it on my radar. But if and when we start getting this kind of push back up, through this 80, through this 90, through this 100, and this 120, I think Zoom might be a decent look. But the trend is definitely very, very clear here as we've sold off of these ridiculous highs, in my opinion. But it's just a supply-demand thing. There was enough demand, and the supply was scarce enough that price kind of rocketed up into that 600, but then all those buyers eventually become sellers, and I think Carvana kind of a similar story here, but looking a little bit better than Zoom and some of the other tickers as well. As we've kind of bought, we did have that bottom where a lot of the volume was out. You look at this high volume bar right here, in and around that $12 mark. So a lot of volume went in on this kind of break, and then we've been starting to see that turn back up, a slow little bit of a curl. So potential for I don't know how many people do this anymore, but swing shorts getting a little, or starting to potentially get a little sweaty there. Again, I think a lot of people will kind of swing short if they have the perks to kind of not swing with fees, or if they can figure out the business plan and be like, all right, this is still cost effective even if we hold the borrows to hold this down to zero, right? There's different ways you can kind of do that. But
I like those calls.
Definitely players offside is what I'm
Did your
getting
friends
at,
make
right?
money on that Zoom, or they got it?
On the longs or the shorts?
Well,
Both ways.
Both ways. Okay,
Both ways,
good,
but
yeah.
the some who have held back down, kind of holding and hoping, not so much. Let's just say that.
And what?
You get a taste of a little bit of everything.
There we go. Got to hit that button there. AMC could go. You know what? I was actually looking.
AMC GME.
I was actually looking at the lineup for movies this year. I think there was a pretty good. I think there was some pretty decent ones. Ghostbuster 4.
Yeah. Oh, I just recently watched that
Beverly Hills
Ghostbuster.
Cop, I think, is another one that's coming through. The thing about Ghostbusters, I was just kind of joking about that one. I haven't even seen the last couple ones there. There was the all-female one, and then I think the last one might have even had Bill Murray in it, which
Yeah, no,
means
that's the one
should
I watched. That I think this
he any
past
good in it? I
weekend.
love that.
He shows up for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
not too much of a major role. They show up.
Damn,
The team shows up like near later on in the movie. Let's just say.
Okay,
that.
okay. I won't be watching it, so you don't have to ruin it.
Okay, well, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
not
We don't
bad.
want to
It
ruin
was-
for
it was-
everybody
it
else
was
like I
fun.
did the Harry Potter plot to everybody there, apparently. So, yeah, and there was Kung Fu Panda 3 or something. I don't know. There was some decent ones coming through there. But, okay, so what was the other one, did you say? Oh, I thought Fabian had said something else. What about AMC? Let's have a quick look at that one. This is always a name that people, and we know Michael Noss absolutely hates it. I keep seeing that guy putting up stuff about AMC, and why not? I mean, some of these reverse splits and things like that, and AMC getting down to $1. Now it's essentially 61 cents. I mean, this thing got down to $1 and then reverse split back to the upside. So, yeah, it was 10-1, I believe. So that's why I'm calling it 60 cents. And again, this is like when you go to a concert and then there's 50 cent and then 10 cents more, you get 60 cents. So right now, we're going to find out about where AMC can go. Not a great one. GameStop possibly. There's the GTA. Is it 5 or 6 right now? I think we're waiting for 6, right?
Yeah.
That's going to come out. I could see that kind of sparking a
That
little.
looks pretty awesome. I don't know.
But I think that's near the end of the year. So GameStop could have some catalysts.
Did you know it takes place in Vice City?
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Maybe?
we were talking about this when it first came out. And remember, I was
we were
like, oh, the
wondering.
last
That was
last
the
game I
last one I
played
played too.
was Vice City.
Yeah.
And sure, the GTA 4 and the stuff came out. I played a little bit, but I didn't really get involved. But the one I did play a couple of times, start to finish, was Vice City, and this one takes place in Vice City. So
Cool.
I think that's definitely gonna be interesting and kind of a little bit of a reminder. Plus, much better graphics, much better kind of.
I think I was playing on a PS3. Does that make sense? The last Vice City, probably. Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I didn't have. Baxter had a PS4.
Yeah, no,
but
PS3 sounds right because I think I remember playing the GTA
it might be
2
PS2. I don't even.
on PS2. Yeah, Grand
We
Theft
can
Auto
probably check
2.
that out.
Yeah. Not a bad
GTA.
game.
Anyways, I was just thinking about some catalysts, right? Because when you're trying to make picks for the new year and stuff like that, it's nice to get a couple catalysts to come through. All right. Well, we did it. So pat on back a little bit. Tesla did make that move that we sort of all thought, or I thought anyways, and was hoping for. I guess we didn't. I mean, if I didn't think it, I probably wouldn't have put it on. We've had some bad trades too. It's not like this is going to be the greatest trade of all time here, but there it is. So we got the VWAP back to the 200. Like that is what it's about for me. You know, you take the VWAP and you get it back in. So we have a couple outs right there. We actually still have 50% of the position because greed is good. And I'm trying to get this out at 50s now. So I do have another bid. Maybe now we're being a little foolish because honestly, what's the difference when you're talking about 5 cents? Not much. So potentially here, if it's just going to cruise like this, I still feel like we could be a little bit more patient and wait for that. That 50 period was 75. So that's where we got, or sorry, the 200 period. So that's where we got a lot out. There it is. Money. Damn, Daniel, this stock is actually going down. So here we go. And why did we pick on Tesla? It's actually pretty simple for me, man. And sometimes you say, keep it simple, stupid. Yesterday, this is what Tesla did, and it started in the afternoon. So this guy was just like, maybe it starts again. We had VWAP, we had this level there. We talked about that. I think it's well worth it. We didn't have the proper risk to hold it all the way up there. We sort of talked about debating that. So we don't, we got a good amount of shares because it went back up to VWAP, but it's this early entry. And again, I want to thank everybody in the chat. Like they're talking about like thanking you and I, Obi, both, of course, and Neil, everybody, every part of Adara, Sharif, it doesn't matter. If you're part of the family, you're part of the family, that's what it is. But for all the lessons that we keep on teaching everybody, and then they can't believe that it's completely for free. Well, guess what? Next year, it's all pay service. No, it's not. It's going to be free next year as well. But
I'm not teaching anything. I'm learning a lot more.
Oh, shut up. You're teaching a lot.
No, I don't think so.
All right, let's go over and handle some business. Why you guys are free.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
0.8 pips. You know what? I think, okay, we're getting close now. I was going to say, I think Tesla actually flashed down to 249 there.
Oh, no way.
So I'm going to put a bid. Because
That's a real print?
Yes, sir. Well, it doesn't, at this point, whatever, we're so close to that anyways. I am not going to put a bid. What? It's 3:44. Okay. I did not realize the time. And when you're having fun, Obi, this is what happens. There it is right now. You know what club we're in, Obi? You tell me.
Dollar.
Correct. We were in there a while ago, but now it's $1.32 right now in the money on this Tesla trade. So now I don't feel okay. You know what? Now that I see where the time is, and we do have the imbalances coming out, the imbalances could come extreme to one side or the other today because this is year end. So will there be some rebalances happening? Oh yeah, we can have an early look. So let's do that right now. Let me see what Brendan put in there. What? Why? Oh my God, I've been so distracted I didn't even see this. It was 2.5 billion to buy. It's a good thing I didn't see that actually, because I'm only short, and I might have been like, oh, maybe we have to get out a little bit earlier. But look, this is what's matched up so far on the NYSE. These are big, big, big. Like sometimes we don't see this. Like HD, 2 million shares times 400. Like this is why it's that big to buy. 2 million shares times $350. You know, right there. That's a big account. TRP as well. Well, that's only $40. But again, still 2 million times it. Verizon, 2 million times that. You know, this could be a nice. Oh, is that lithium? LTHM?
I haven't heard that name.
I don't think so. LTHM.
Oh, it is.
Is it Lithium America? Am I wrong on that? Yeah. No, Live End Corp. No, it's not. LTC or LIT. But anyways, that's not a big one. But just saying, that's the sell right there to the downside. What is RPT? Ooh, this one's moving around. Now, there could be some index action as well happening today. So this could be what RPT is. But anyways, in just a couple minutes, we will get the NASDAQ cracking on here. And then when that happens, then you're going to see some excitement. And hopefully we will see some Tesla excitement as right now. Oh, there it is. We got it. So we did get that bid down there at 249. So right now, all is well in the Katina household. And yeah, my wife's Ubering down here. We have some good plans tonight. We're going to go to the Travis Scott concert, and then we're going to go to dinner first. That should be fun. And then New Year's probably just hang out. My parents, unfortunately, were feeling a little under the weather during the holidays, and it was just decided by all, that was just my pen, oh thanks Obi, decided by all to maybe take it easy. And so we'll be seeing them either tomorrow or Sunday when we pick up the kids. I think tomorrow, and we should have a nice little holiday party then. And then for New Year's, I'm not sure what we'll do. What are you doing?
I got some family coming over tomorrow. I'm gonna have some dinner, maybe watch a movie, just chill out and spend some family time. I think over the weekend.
Good.
So
Solid,
that's
solid,
what I got.
solid.
But I just want to make sure we get this super chat here. Monty G saying, "Happy New Year, everyone at Trader TV Live. Thanks for a great year. Be safe, and you are all loved. You are loved, Monty G. And thank you everybody in the chat. Again, it's a lot of fun here. We have a great time, reading all the comments, the jokes, the recommendations, and everything in the chat. I think it's a solid community. And I've been watching again, coming in early and doing the show. A lot of people are active in the chat very early on in the day. So it's actually like a pretty decent chat room in the mornings, and then it gets a little crowded later on. But yeah, in the morning some decent conversations happening, and I was just observing over the past couple of times there. So pretty solid community, and yeah, I just want to say thank you guys as well.
Thank you.
All right, with 348, I mean Tesla now just broke through 249, so this is a good trade here for sure. Thanks to Chuck for options. He'll be here next year. I hope everybody's here next year. It was a big year for us, and it's going to get bigger and better. I mean, we started this up just by trying to teach, right? I mean, obviously the number one sponsor here is Day Trade the World, and we've launched the campus program this year, and hopefully more to come with including options in the new year, which I've been told. I was told late December, but hopefully then I was told into the new year. So we'll hold out for hope on that. Not hope, it is going to happen, but we hope it happens sooner rather than later. And then hopefully crypto with spot crypto on our platform. So no longer having to worry about me watching GBTC and wondering why Bitcoin's ripping and it's not, things like that. So we should be able to trade live Bitcoin, live Ethereum, and pretty much the top 25 or so coins. We're just setting it up. There's issues because we're a prop floor, so you got to worry about clearing and all that kind of stuff. So there are some stuff there, but hey, that's not my problem.
Prop firms are the way to go, man. If you ain't got no money.
Here we go. It is now 8 seconds away from possible anarchy, honestly, in this market here. So we're still short Intel, which is printing, and we are short. What just happened right there?
Wow, nice.
Wow. Dish Network. Oh yeah, are they a buyout? Addition and delete. Okay, I just heard Wayne mention that, so thank you for that one. So there's Dish Network. Look at that gapper downside there with 8 milli to go. I'll wait for Brendan there. 3.1 to buy, so it stays bid side. Apple bid, big bid for Apple. Look at that, man. Spiked it up $1 and almost 70 cents up there, then comes right back down in. We'll see if that was real or not. Probably was. Home Depot does Wasn't that no, that was a buy. So it stays a buy. So again, look at that. Look at that movement, man. If you just took Home Depot because Obi and I showed you this, then boom, that's a great one. Sometimes they don't stick around, which is the problem. Verizon also stays a buy. That doesn't move. I'm not seeing anything else on here. Ford's had quite the nice move off of 7 up to 12, not moving. Oh, there's your Amazon. Again, kind of up and then down again, so not much happening right there. It doesn't look super interesting to me right now, but I guess it was the Apple trade that was real. I'm just going to call, was that actually happen on eSignal, that up and down move? Yes, it did. Wow. So here's another chart program for you right here. Here's eSignal showing you that 193.10 print matching hours. Sometimes our platform will quote deprints and others will sort of filter them out, which is why I'm always a little bit skeptical sometimes, but there it goes right there. Apple did, now I can't move this chart. Go? Oh no. All right, well now I got to figure this out. As you can see, there's some sort of a problem here now that I've created for myself. So I'm just going to do that, and hopefully my whole program does not freeze up. But there you go. Apple to the upside right now on that move, and there's the imbalances. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. I know who's not, people that are long Tesla, as that just made a move back in. Let's just get this out if we take out 20s. Okay, 249.20. So I don't even have a stop order in for this because everything happened too quickly. 249.31. Let's go. We're ready to rock and roll here, and that's going to be a good trade to end the day, Obi. Intel also 25 cents in the money right now as well. Let's put a bid right there and get out some 25s for Intel. Nice move in for Intel as well. So we only held 2 shorts. We did get washed out on JP Morgan, and by washed out I just meant we got stopped out right there. Too many hits on JP Morgan. It never really came back in, so kind of glad we were able to get out of that one. But the 2 names that we were holding into the close are Such and Fisker. No workout, our last 15% there. So we'll have to get out of that one now, as I might just punch this 75 halves or so right there. Did we even get 74 or 75? We'll double check it. But I'm just going to punch out right there now. I think we got 74 half. I always use, here at Day Trade the World, we have access to over 70 gateways, which I know that sounds crazy, but there's so many dark pools and things like that. And when you have a big quality name like a Fisker doing, I don't mean quality as in the stock, but doing a lot of volume, there's going to be dark pools that you can match. So let me tell you the price that I got exactly there. 174.33 was the blended price on the punch out. So I didn't even get halves. I got worse than that. But just something to talk about right there. And the market is going to close, hopefully, soon. I was going to say, where's the market going to close here for the NASDAQ? It looks like it's going to be red. So the Santa Claus rally does take a little bit of a, you mentioned today, I guess it was someone in the chat, Obi, that said that it's bringing a red bag or something today.
Yeah,
and it looks,
as soon as the market dumped, somebody was like, Santa brought a red bag. I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
so we were celebrating the $1 club, Obi, and now it looks like we can probably get a $2 club winner here
nice.
On Tesla, as it's coming right back in here into 248. So yeah, I thought it was well worth the risk. Did our ARM trade work out? We didn't take it, but no. So I'm kind of glad that we stayed away from ARM. We talked about a barcode. I mean, I didn't here, but that's okay. We didn't really lose anything. Talked about a barcoding. I was thinking about that break. That didn't happen, and I was also thinking about that break, and that didn't happen. So I'm glad I didn't think about it too much, because that would have been a waste of my time. So, all right, 3.1 billion to buy into the close. The market seems to be relatively muted right here.
Yeah, nothing too
Right.
crazy here that I have on my radar. Just watching
Come
some of this.
on.
I did pull up Dish as it
pulled
was
in
one of the
a
larger
trade
kind
on
of
the downside.
imbalances
on
right here, as you
Bitcoin,
can
so
see.
we'll see what's going on
Almost
for
5.9,
close,
and take a look
and,
at that. It just doubled up. I just said 5.9, and it goes up to 8.2 on Dish. Almost a 50% increase, and take a look at that Amazon kind of dumping as well. So maybe a little bit of a market flush alongside a lot of these names. Apple was up here too. What's Apple doing? Apple's a 1 million sell. I'm just going to keep this up here for now. But yeah, straight quadunking into the close on the last day of the trading, on the last trading day of the year. That's what I'm trying to say.
And there's that rhetoric that I was talking about. People were asking what we thought was happening. I thought we could have a sell-off into the close. So let's slap it up a little bit there. Yeah, it's violent. there into the close. So again, I hope everyone's enjoying themselves and didn't hold on to too many longs, hoping for that bump there at the end of the day. 3:55. Kat will be on the bell today to end the year. It's been a while, so Kat will be on there to end out the year today for us, and she's working hard back there. So thank you to Kat. Thank you to everybody that's been watching us this year. We've had a great year. Can't believe Tesla's now $2. I just put a bid at 248. Hopefully that'll come through. We now have 4 minutes left right now as we hit it here. And if you're watching, we can do this. It's 3:56:02 in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada. 3:56:05 right now as we go. So if you are a little bit behind the stream, that's what time we are live right now here in Toronto. You can always
And
hit
it
refresh.
is
We stream completely
3:57
live.
now.
No
3:57.
speed bumps or anything. Whatever YouTube does,
3:57.
they do. So that's
So
what we're doing right now.
3:57 now
Intel, by the way,
in Romulus.
also making that move. We've already captured this profit. What a good
In
short
the
on
US.
Intel. You know what? I've sort of secretly mentioned, not secretly,
East side
mentioned all the
or
time,
east-
that Intel's kind of been a
east
great stock for me
coast.
recently. I know Neil gets a lot of, I don't know why, a lot of talk there about Intel. He likes that name. We're both investors and we both like to trade it. So that makes sense. But Intel, definitely a money maker for this guy. And there we go. Let's take a piece out there at 18. And here it comes now, down in, as you see the prints going off on the time and sales. There's the fill now on Intel, and another good one there. Did we get that Tesla? No, we did not get that out. 248, man, just bounced off that. We were waiting for that clean. Maybe we get a little whoosh down there, and then we'll be able to get it. But Happy New Year to everybody, man. And, best of luck to everybody. Whatever you're doing tonight or tomorrow and through this week, make sure you do it safely and make sure you do it with the ones that you love. That way it will be a guaranteed success. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And there it is, man. Shout out to the Crow. 2024 is going, I don't want to say it's going to be my best net year ever for trading, but I'm going to try to get it to that. I feel really confident about a lot of the things that I'm doing now, and I'm very, very excited for the year of 2024. And I'm excited for you too, because you're going to graduate, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the sky is the limit, not only for you, but for the show and for everybody out there. So thank you for supporting us. Make sure you check the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. I'd also like to wish you all a happy new year, and next year, got some goals set, got some plans in.
Give me one of those goals.
Sizing relative to risk.
Good.
And having an actual structured plan, because like I take a lot of trades where I'm still learning, right? Over time, I'm like this one is a lot more confluence. These factors, I've taken this trade multiple times over and over again, so I can be giving this a lot more risk relative to or a lot more size.
I'm just watching this Tesla trade, but I am listening to you.
A lot more size given the risk that it actually deserves, right? Not the risk that I want to give it, but the risk the trade actually deserves. So I think a big part of 2024 for me will be actually taking the trade.
Oh, they hit my
No.
ticker
I'm
right.
not doing anything.
To fairly put that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, part of it is
Putting
pulling
in
the
reps,
trigger.
yeah.
And we talked about that yesterday with Neil. It's like you can put whatever the heck you want on the sticky note. The other day we had Coinbase on there. It went to 180. We had the blast through 180. We didn't take it. So then it's nice that you pointed it out. But if you don't take the trade, then I feel like you're just like a talking head again. So I feel like that's important, man. Trust in the trades. Trust in what you're doing, and and if you fall on your damn head like I did this today on AMD, you just get back up, and you try
just
again,
get
and
back up,
that's
you
very
try
important.
again.
So, thank you, Obi, but with only limited time left, unfortunately, this Tesla is just dancing at this level. So I'm just gonna put a bid out here at 47. Oh no, it's not gonna happen to me at the end of the year. I'm just gonna punch. It is happening to me.
It just happened to me.
Again, because I put, okay, we'll get out of 70. I could have just punched like 50s there. Instead, I tried to bid. Countdown, Cat. We're almost getting ready right now. As we're ready to
4
rock and roll.
p.m. It is
the
it.
bell is about to go. I have the countdown on right now with only, there it is. Now we're 10 seconds away. So here we go. There she is.
It's
hey, Kat,
4
how you
p.m.
doing?
here.
I like that look right
So
there.
we're kind of a
only
delay.
4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right.
All right, Happy New Year
Happy
to
New Year. We
absolutely
made
everybody
another
out there.
trading day.
It was a good year, man. It was a really successful one. Not the greatest year for me net-wise.
I want to thank you. Let me do this and do this. Hey, thank you for joining me today for today's trading session. We will be back in the new year, same time, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will be having candlestick trading sessions, lessons at 1 p.m. During the time. And we will see you Tuesday. You guys be safe. Don't drink too much. Don't do too many things, but have a good time. Have a great night. And we will see you back here Tuesday morning, opening bell. All right, I am your host, Michael Hayes, the Living Legacy Group. And please like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye now.